doing today? Hello. Hi, Sarah. Hi, CJ. What's that? I saw Jordan in there. What's up, Jordan? Thank you, Bad Bog. I almost said Bad Dog. Bad Bog for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Um, Today we got a good one. It's gonna be an exciting one. I'm so tired. This is earlier than I've been waking up recently. But that's okay. Be, I will be all good. I'll be fine. Popping brand new whip just hopped in. Exactly. Good day. Oh, it's one of our lovely guests, friends, I guess we could call them. um, so Jordan, I saw you're asking, what's the queue for? The queue is for you guys to kind of come on the Discord and say what's up, say hi, and ask some questions if you'd like to. One of our lovely friends. I agree, Sarah. One of our lovely friends. If you'd like to join and if you have a question that you'd like to ask on stream, you can join that queue. We'll queue you up. I don't know when you might have to wait a little bit. That's a little side piece about it. But we'll get you in if you have a question that you'd like to ask our guest or myself if you'd like. Um, Story time. So this Thursday, for you that are in the Discord, if you're not, exclamation mark Discord will get you in there. We have Discord game nights that we do every week. We have one coming up this week. I believe it's Thursday at 5 p.m. PST or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we got a bit of a bigger one coming up this week. Reason why for that is that we're dropping our Minecraft server starting on Thursday. So you guys will want to be part of that. If you don't already, go get Minecraft Bedrock. That's where we are going to be hosting the Minecraft server. It'll be it'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of the friends in there. So if you guys aren't ready, exclamation mark Discord will get you into that Discord chat. If you're not already, I know there's quite a few people that already are in there. And yeah, Minecraft this week. I will be in there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We've worked quite hard on getting this all started and set up with all the mods, and I appreciate all the mods' help. Sorry, the kids' help on getting this all started up. So we will do it. No, unfortunately, not Java, Jordan. we we will likely possibly get to Java eventually, or maybe do a double. The only reason we have not yet is because Bedrock is more accessible for more people. The only reason at all. However, I have had a lot of people say they want to do Java, so we might do both at some point. But currently, just for Bedrock. But I definitely hear you guys. If you guys want Java, we can definitely make it happen in the future. That's something we can definitely do. As you guys know, if you haven't seen already, at the very bottom of the About section, there is going to be there's hidden commands. Exclamation mark treasure hunt, exclamation mark treasure or exclamation mark hunt. We'll all get you those things to hear about what's going on. For those of you that already know, you know what's going on, but I'm going to explain for the rest of it. Yeah, see, Barley, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Good to see you in here. So someone's already found one. Our buddy Donovan has already found one command. If you'd like to find some of the hidden commands, go through and type them out. Try and see if you can find something. There's always something you can find in there. There are still 4 redacted things, so I mean, a lot for things to do. And also, you guys get a $5 gift card if you guys find it. So I mean, there's some incentive to find those commands there. But yeah, going into our intro for our guest. Today's guest likes helping people. That's why I was so eager to have her on as a guest. Her dream job is to be a licensed practicing counselor, and she's currently going to school to make that dream come true. Outside of school, she streams as a hobby. A previous achievement of her streaming career is that she used to formerly stream on Mixer. During her time on Mixer, she was partnered and had an astonishing 30,000 followers before its demise. However, her loyal community still followed her over to Twitch, where she streams regularly. Today, we hope to get to know our guest and see how she sees life through deep questions. Please help me welcome, hello Vixenna, also known as Vix, to the conversation. There you are. You are all good.
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, as you know, we like to start every stream with the two truths, one lie. You've set up some two truths and one lie.
I have.
So the chat's going crazy. Everyone loves you. Hi, Kale. Welcome into the stream. So with that, you have some prepared.
I do.
So we're gonna get into that. Um, yeah. So I actually we'll go right into it. Why don't you start with that, and then we'll go on to the intro after that. From
Okay. So do you just want me to like read them?
sure. So read them.
They're kind
Obviously,
of short.
that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't. It's all good with the thing. Just read them. Don't let us know, and we will let the chat guess. From that, and then I will guess, and then you will let us know what if I am right or not. I am 0 for 3 right now, so I'm not on a hot streak.
I feel like my community might be able to guess this,
Oh no.
but
It's okay if they guess it.
yeah.
That's great. Then I mean they get some bonus points for being loyal friends.
Or yeah,
Okay.
friendship points. Sure. All right. I'm
No
just gonna dive into it, and I had to write these down because I was like so nervous that I was gonna forget them.
worries. It's all good.
So first one, I've been to as many foreign countries as US states.
Okay.
Second one, I've broken the same bone twice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Last one, I've been to Disneyland over 20 times.
Oh. Okay. So let's unpack all that. So first we've got you've been to as many foreign countries as you have states. That's the first one.
Mhm.
You've broken the same bone twice.
Mhm.
And then the third one is that you have gone to Disneyland 20 times or over 20 times?
Over 20
Over
times.
20 times. Okay, so what do you guys think? What is the lie? What is the cap? um See, for me, I don't know. I'm hmm. So, my first thing is the the first one I could see, but I don't know how many states you've been to. So maybe you haven't been to any states and maybe you haven't gone to anywhere. That's because that could be all the total truth in itself. I don't know. So we'll put that one to the side for a second. Chat, please let me know. Let me let me know if you guys have any ideas. Doc, I feel like you have some big brain over here. um, Disneyland is true. I'm really hoping it's true because I love Disneyland. And I've been there. I've been there. I've been there about 4 times. So I mean, someone if you live a little closer to it, I could definitely see it being possible. It's the most magical place on earth.
It is.
And then the broken bone. That one that one's sitting weird with me. However, I feel like it could be true because like I mean, if you're a crazy child or something, that's the thing is I also don't even know. It may even be you might even be a child who just broken it as an adult. Um, hmm. Okay. Let me
I did
think.
try to make it tricky.
Yes. I will give it to all the house guests that have come in previously. Everyone has made it to the point where like I thought it would be this is gonna be like an easy segment for me. This has become the most difficult like show ruining segment that I've think, but it's also now super fun for me, and I know chat loves it too. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to say that the lie is going to be the broken bone. That one's the one that doesn't sit right with me. So please let us know which one is the lie.
You are correct.
Oh my
I've
goodness,
never
I
I've
finally
never
got
broken
one.
a bone.
You've never okay, well congratulations. Me as well, actually, funny enough. That's awesome. I've actually never met someone who is like that, that hasn't broken a single bone. So that's awesome. If you right, Kayla, I agree. I'm doing the same thing right now. This is the first guess. I've done this. This is the fourth time I think I've done this, and you're the only guess I've actually got it right. So thank goodness. I was actually doubting myself too after I said it. I was like, oh, is this gonna be 0 and 4? So explain. Let's hear what states have you been to, and what foreign countries have you been to?
Yeah, so I used to live on the West Coast
Okay.
of the US. So I've been to California, Oregon, Washington, easy peasy. I've also, so that's 3.
Okay.
I've also been to Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Florida,
Okay.
as well as Nevada. So I think that's 8, right? If I'm counting
Yes.
correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And the countries I've been to England, Scotland, France, Monaco, Italy, Sicily, China, and Germany.
Okay, so quite a bit about around Europe and then a little bit of Asia.
Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. See, Bradley's in Nevada too. So Bradley heard it. Bradley's like hearing his people. He's like, yes, me. For those you don't know, exclamation mark Bradley. Bradley's our oldest kid in the house. We're gonna say what's up to
Hey,
Bradley. Um, but yes, and then so no broken bones. Great,
no
awesome.
broken bones.
Knock on wood. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yes, right.
Right. And then Disneyland. So I'm assuming because you said you're West Coast, is that why? Were you in California?
I lived in LA for 6 years. Yes.
Oh, okay. And then
Yeah, and I had a Disney pass, so I would go once a month.
was the annual pass?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dream. The
Mm-hmm.
dream. Um, yeah, see, if I didn't love my healthcare up here so much, there would be nothing stopping me. However, the kind of the long-term goal eventually to be is to have a like a house that we could have there or some sort of like timeshare or something like that that I could
Or
do.
just friends you could visit.
That's true. Anyone in
Mm-hmm.
California wanna wanna hang out? I will pay for the Disney tickets if you're housing. So just for today, I want to remind you that all these questions are up to your comfort to answer. If you prefer not to answer a question, and please feel free to let me know, and I will stop asking. That's no problem at all. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable at any part of this. In addition to that, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them at any time. It's all good at any point. If you guys haven't already, exclamation mark guest will find you everything for Vix's links. I definitely suggest that you guys go and hang out and see her stuff. Metafish, what's up, dude? How's it going? Welcome. I didn't know you were. I thought you were too. That's weird. That's okay though. Welcome though. See, you've the amount of times we've communicated. It's all good if you don't follow. We still homies. Like I said in almost every other past stream, I tips and in the future when it gets to that point of subs and follows, it's just a number. I'm more excited for you guys to be able to hang out and spend your time with me. That's more than enough for me as well. How do both of you? Yeah, for sure. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here, Meta. Um, all right, I totally lost my train of thought because I was looking at chat, and this happens to me way too often. Um, there was something I was having a question I was gonna say, but I cannot remember. That's okay. If I remember, I'll come back to it later. Let's go to the first question actually, which is what made you want to begin streaming? And I know obviously Twitch isn't your first channel, so with Mixer.
It actually was my first channel. I actually started on Twitch before I moved on to Mixer.
Oh,
Um, I had just gotten into PC gaming. When was this? 4 years ago?
okay.
I think it was 4 years ago. I was kind of curious to see what streaming was all about. I had watched a bunch of big streamers. I wasn't sure if it was going to be for me or not because in general I'm kind of a shy person, so I was kind of worried that like nobody's going to want to watch me and it's going to be awkward and it's going to be yikes, but it turned into a great outlet, creatively, socially. I was able to meet like a ton of amazing people, have a ton of amazing experiences, and it's one of those things where I can't imagine what my life would have been like if I hadn't given it a try.
Hmm. Definitely, and I can relate with a lot of that. Is a sense is the two things. One is the community. I've never seen such a supportive community as streamers, and like I thought it was going to be very kind of maybe toxic isn't the best word, but I don't know exactly. I don't think toxic would be the best word, but like I don't think I didn't expect people to be this supportive, especially of me and kind of what I'm doing. And for someone, for instance, like you have this is the first time we're like really talking essentially, and you're on my stream and giving me the time to ask you these questions and things like that. And I mean that's crazy. I don't think there's many other kind of communities that would be this open and honest and like that. And I find that awesome. Yeah, we got the emotes going in chat here. I like it. Yes, thank you, Metafish. I was actually about to just say that if you hit exclamation mark guest, you will get all of Vix's links. Please go follow if you haven't already. It's gonna be worth your time. It's a good investment. Maybe even better than Dogecoin. Very likely. Um, uh, and then the second thing that I would say for as far as streaming is the anxiety part of it, and right, like exactly, CJ, and um it's something that is so anxiety ridden. And the first connection that I ever had, I made a TikTok about this and how like I literally did not. I think I slept for maybe 4 hours that night because I was literally just sitting there staring at my wall, and it's something I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. Is you're just standing there, it's like, is people gonna like me? Are they gonna like me? And it is definitely a daunting task to kind of click that go live button. Yeah. Um, if you were given three things to make you happy, what would those three things be? And they must be materialistic. I know you have a lovely dog that hangs out with you a lot of the streams. Unfortunately, it could not be
Oh
him.
man, that's hard.
I know. It's
Mm,
Toby, right?
yeah, it's Toby.
Okay.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Material things are tough.
Right?
Um, hmm.
Free stream sweats, baby. Exactly, CJ. I agree.
Three material things to make me happy. Um, my Kindle,
Okay,
so
that's
that
a
I
good
can
one.
have like a never-ending supply of amazing books and content to consume
Awesome. Okay.
because I love reading and I love learning. So Kindle.
Okay, number one.
Um,
It also Switch Lite.
I'd take the Kindle over the Switch Lite, actually.
Oh,
Um,
Kindle's a really odd way of pronouncing Tesla.
like
For
how
real though.
Tesla is like high up there.
Truly.
Um,
It's kind of a meme on this channel of the Tesla because of the hat. It's became like a kind of a meme, unfortunately. And I feel like this meme will not end until there's a Tesla parked in the driveway, which I'm okay with. But I got rooted myself in pretty deep here.
okay. Kindle,
Okay.
Cottage in the Woods, because
Ooh.
that's a material thing,
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yep.
and fiber internet.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Okay.
Those things have to kind of like, because I like being kind of like cottagey in the nature.
Yeah.
But I need my internet.
Okay. No, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, you were the one who talked me into wiring my connection, so I mean, fair enough. That's a good. Okay. I definitely understand why for all of them. I'm not personally a big reader, but the Kindle I definitely I understand as a creative kind of person is it's definitely something that can push you to get to that next kind of thing. So this is actually a new question. It's actually one that I thought of last night as I was pondering to sleep. Um, is what is your first memory that you can remember or recall?
um, I was roughly 2 years old and I was jumping in my crib.
Okay.
Yeah, I can actually remember that. But that's like, then it's like a big gap from then until like preschool.
Right?
But that I remember.
Isn't it so weird, like the things we pick up on for stuff like that? Like it's so strange, like the things that we click into, and I mean, like you said, it was just jumping in a crib. It wasn't anything like it wasn't like you're getting a piece of candy. It wasn't like anything like that. And same for my thing too. Is it's nothing like too crazy either. And it's basically just waking up and remembering that I was. I think we just had gone camping, and one of those weird. I don't know. I remember getting changed by my aunt and later found out I was like 1 years old. That's crazy. Like that's a crazy long memory for that. Um, well, this is my favorite because I always get a good answer to this one. Do you have any secret hobbies or skills that most people would not know about you, including stream if you can for bonus points?
That's tough because I'm not a very secretive person. I'm a very open person. So I feel like
That's not a
I
bad
have
thing.
told most people most of my hobbies at one point or another.
Okay,
Um,
you can just go with the least known maybe if you would like to. That's okay though. I could tend to see that too. Is you're pretty quite open on your streams.
my least known secretive hobby. Um, I don't know. I like again, I'm so open and oh, it's almost to the point where now I feel like I'm too open. Like I'm not keeping enough secrets. Like I need to hold things back now.
Exactly. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be open, but yeah, no, like I'm.
Yeah. because I share so much with my community about what I do on a daily basis as well as like a hobby basis that I feel like pretty much everyone knows everything. Um, oh man, I feel like I'm letting you down for content
No,
right
no, it's all
now.
good. I mean, as long as
Man,
you're
no,
not holding
Vix
back
is
like
an open
juggling or
book.
anything. Sorry?
Oh no, I said, oh, Vix is just an open book. No, no juggling. Yeah, no. I think part of that is like just social media in general. There's so much opportunity to just kind of like share so many aspects of your life.
Hmm.
So it almost is like
You don't
it's
tricycle, do you?
harder to. No, I don't.
Okay, I was gonna say, I
I
was like, wow, that'd be really
I mean,
impressive.
I can trip on air, but that's not really a secret because everyone's seen me trip before.
Yikes. Trip on air. Hi, Honey Badger. Welcome to
Yeah.
the stream. That was the perfect first message into the stream. So welcome. Um, okay. I mean, sounds good. As far as that, and I totally understand. It's as far as someone who can be super open, and I think a lot of streamers should push that way. Is if you can be super open to the point where your stream kind of knows a lot about you. That's a good way to run it. I'm not. It's not something that I mean. Obviously, yes, the content, but that's all right. I will survive without one answered. So that's no worries at all. Um, what is something that you're proud about of yourself?
I am proud for going back to school because I did not think that that was something I would ever be able to do.
Of course, fair enough.
Yeah.
Need school when you have Prankra. Well, I mean, to be a licensed practicing counselor, you probably need more than me. um, yeah, no, and I think a lot of people don't talk about how. I'm assuming you took a gap. Is that what I'm kind of hearing?
Yeah, I graduated undergrad and then I didn't think graduate school was doable like financially as well as like it takes a while to complete.
Hmm.
So I didn't really think that that was going to be doable. So being able to kind of one find something that I'm passionate about and actually kind of like commit to going back to school for it, that's a huge accomplishment for me as well as kind of like making it a priority.
How many years have you been doing that for now?
I just I started taking prereqs last year. But I think this is my second semester as like a true graduate student.
Okay. Congratulations, by the
Thank
way, for going
you.
back. As someone who has taken a gap year as well, and also in my kind of how I did it was I went from right outside of my high school. I went into film school, dropped out. I didn't like it, and that was even harder as well because I'm dropping out thinking, okay, it's not something that I like doing. Like I didn't like the kind of the form of going back of his being in school, and so I left. I took I think it's like a 3 year gap, and then went back in for something totally different. And it's not easy. It's people don't talk enough about how like hard it is to get back in from when you haven't studied and your brain's kind of like basically dry to like having to relearn how to study. So especially for something as
Yeah, my undergrad was completely different than my graduate program. I triple majored in history, Asian studies, and Chinese culture. So I went from a very like liberal arts background, lots of like research, but in a historical context, in a cultural context, not necessarily more in a scientific or clinical context. And now my brain has to do like a 180 and think more like clinically and read very wordy scientific journals.
I'm so sorry. I realized that the tip goal is super loud. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure you heard that as well because like I saw you get like hit with that. So I'm very, very sorry to anyone that that got that tip goal. Thank you so much, you biggest dad, for the $5 tip. That will be going towards the stream deck, as you guys can see over the corner there. But thank you for that. Also, if you guys haven't already, I don't even know what the sound is anymore. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to knock that down a little bit. CJ, if you can remind me after stream to please knock that down a little bit, so I don't blow the eardrums out of everyone in the stream. My apologies, though. I'm very sorry to all the friends. Is if you guys haven't already, exclamation mark, guest will give you the links for all of Vixenna's or V or Vix links, and you can go follow her. And if you haven't already, why not? You should be already there. It's worth your time. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it. Let's see here. How happy are you right now?
Oh man, that's tough to say. Because happiness is like one of those things it can be elusive and it can be ever changing and redefining itself, right?
Of course.
I would say in this current moment, I'm more stressed than anything else, to be honest, just because I have a lot of deadlines coming up as far as school goes and work has been crazy. So I would say like more stress than anything.
What was that noise?
That's a good question.
Did you hear that too? Because I
did.
I don't usually hear things, and I heard something pop up. I don't know exactly what that was.
Yeah.
But hi. Welcome, by the way. Certificate? Is that how I said that? I hope.
Certificate.
Certificate?
Yeah.
Okay. Questionable sound? It was a questionable sound. Kale, so Swede, and Cerd. Welcome, Cerd. Welcome to it. I'm assuming you know Vix. We're getting to know Vix in our family and in our community. If you haven't already, for the ones that are nicely joining us over here, I would urge you to go and hit !Discord. The reason why we have Discord game nights, and that's probably the biggest reason why I'm saying you should go and hit that Discord up. And it is a lot of fun. Trust me. We have an 18 plus game night, and we also have a game night set for everyone. This week is going to be for everyone, and we are going to be playing Minecraft on a server that we've just created. So it'll be the first server ever. So if you want to help us break in that new server, I would love for you guys to all join. You would have to get Minecraft Bedrock though. That is something that you will need. And yeah, and thank you so much, Certificate, for that follow too. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining into the community. Don't worry, Rhodes, you'll get there one day. Don't wish on growing up older. Trust me.
It's a scam.
It is a scam. It's like the DLC that EA always puts on. Going back to the questions here. What are you passionate about in life?
I'm passionate about a lot of things. I'm a very passionate person. But I would say helping people is probably my biggest passion. Supporting people, being there for people, which again is kind of why I'm choosing to pursue the kind of career that I'm choosing. But yeah, I like seeing people succeed and people grow and people improve. And it makes me feel like I'm contributing to something that is bigger than myself and can benefit not just that person, but the lives of every person that person's life touches.
And I definitely think that shows, and obviously what your career choice now is going towards. And it's something that it was one of the first things that I saw. It was kind of my first impression of you when I jumped into your stream one of the first times, is because I saw your about and you said I like helping people, and I was like, that's interesting. And then obviously we started chatting, and our conversations went to kind of this is so cliche, but I think it went to kind of the meaning of life. And I was watching back the VODs, and it was like it's funny because not only did you actually have a troll in there at that time, which was being very rude, in that time, but you handled that perfectly, of course, which did not surprise me. But on the other flip side was how when I came in and with the questions, and the questions were very loaded, and you were like, oh, listen, and you took them and you answered them very well, and yeah, no, it was definitely a really good first impression. And then I reached out to you saying, hey, like I'm doing this kind of show, I'd love for you to be on if you'd be interested. And I was super late to a meeting because I'm an idiot twice. And you look at that, you still vibed with me and went to help me in the long run. So I appreciate that. But I think that, and I said this to you in the stream that I came into as well, the first original one. I said it shows your true colors when when you're put in situations, especially like something like COVID right now. Um, and and that kind of instinct of, do we support each other or do we leave each other to fend for ourselves? And I think a lot of, I mean, the people that I've surrounded myself with, I can definitely say are the people who are supporting each other. Um, and I hope a lot more people can be able to say that, because, but I'm definitely happy with the people that I've chose my surround myself with, and I'm very lucky to have those people around me, for sure. Um, what do you, and I guess speaking of pride, what are you most proud of in life?
Um, hmm. I don't like extremes because I feel like I have a lot of things to be proud of. I'm proud of the self awareness that I have discovered over the past few years. I'm proud of the relationships that I was able to nurture, keep, and grow because of that self awareness and
Mm,
kind of personal growth. Um, because those things are hard. Self awareness, a lot of people don't have it.
it. Hmm.
Yeah. Growth also, like learning things about yourself and kind of realizing your own patterns and kind of how to break those patterns. Um, it's wild.
Definitely. And it in the past, I've that's one of the things that I always try to do, is I always try and pick one thing that I really struggle with. A big one that I've been really kind of working on for the past couple of years is procrastinating, and it's, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, unfortunately. But I will say I'm probably worse than most of you in this chat. And it's, you're looking like,
I might have to fight you for that
oh,
title.
okay. Let's go
Yeah.
top procrastinator. I mean, hey, if you want to take it, I'd be more than happy, because it's not something I want to have. Um, but I think as far as procrastinating, and even CJ talked about this on his stream as well in the past, is how, like, even to the point of like procrastinating sleep, it's like the weirdest thing, but like it's something that I even do as well, and it's something that I definitely need to work on and get better with, because it's something that I don't want to be kind of like known as, and it definitely holds me back in certain parts of my life, and that's not something I want to do. Sleep procrastination, baby, exactly. I can procrastinate about procrastination, Doc. If that isn't the most realist thing I've heard, that is so true. Um, then I think if I can get that part just cut out of my life, I so happy, because like, or at least get it down to the point where it's super manageable, and that's the thing. Doc, I swear I'm gonna write that down, because that's that. If that doesn't describe me, I don't know what does. Um, are you close with your parents, and why?
Um, I would say not really.
Okay.
I haven't lived in the same state as my parents in like 7 years. I actually live across the country from them. I only
Wow.
see them once a year. Um, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because growing up, like relationships with parents are like they can be very complicated. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's part of growing up is kind of developing those boundaries and what works for you, what works for them, kind of like protecting yourself if need be. I love my parents dearly
Of
for
course.
sure. Um, but it's one of those things where as you grow up, you realize that your parents aren't like superhumans. They make mistakes. And if you look back on things, you kind of reframe things differently and you feel like empathy for them. Like, they were just trying their best to do their best with what they had. And when you're going through like teenage angsty phases, like you have one opinion of them, and then when you get older, you have another. But I think it's important to kind of like look back and realize that your parents are just people and
Hmm.
people make mistakes
Of course.
and they are just like everyone else. I feel like people can sometimes put their parents on a pedestal. Um, And yeah, it's just, again, personal growth growing up, like that maturity to kind of like look back, let things go, um, stuff like that.
And I think that is one of those realizations of that your parents are human too, and it is it's one of those things that they're I think everyone kind of hits that realization of they are, and because you see when you're such a kid, or when you're a kid, you see such a like wow, they can do everything type of thing, and the as far as that sense of when you're realizing that your parents aren't as maybe that superhero person. I mean, Mama Lisa is a very common viewer in this stream. I'm surprised she's not here yet. She might be lurking. That's very probable. But Mama Lisa, if you're here, hi. If not, where are you? But she did say she was going to tune in. Would be is that there is certain things that would be very um, uh, it is kind of it's kind of maybe sad would be the word when you kind of realize that thing, but it's not the worst thing. It's they're human at the end of the day, and I think that if anything that makes me love it a little more. I'm just going to go and read up the chat here just before I forget to here, because I see there's a couple of things that I missed here. Rhodes says I'm not moody, mom. That teenage angst. Exactly, Rhodes. CJ said, there comes a time when your parents have to almost mourn the death for the idea that they had of you, and some come out on top and come close to you. Some unfortunately falter. Yeah, I could see that in some sense, and I think like moving out is a big point of that. Is how as a parent are you ever supposed to prepare for your child to move out and be on their own and live their own life in a sense? And I'm sure that's hard for a lot of parents, and I know that was definitely hard for my mom personally, and things that we've talked about a lot because I moved out about 2 years ago now. I'm sure very similar for your parents as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a big adjustment, especially if you have like, for me being the oldest, I moved out first. So my parents had my brother, but then my brother moved out. So for them, it's definitely a huge change, just kind of like, and my dog is freaking out in the background.
I thought it was I thought that was a hoodie falling or something.
That's my dog.
Hi, Toby.
It's one of those things where they have to kind of like find their own identity again outside of being parents.
Mhm.
And in a lot of ways, you kind of have to find your own identity of being an adult and not relying on them for as many things as you did when you
Totally.
were younger. And it's, for some, it's a relief. For others, it's terrifying. It could be a little bit of both, but it's just, again, it's part of growing up and kind of forging your own identity in the world. And you can definitely take what your parents have taught you
Mm.
or avoided things that you're like, whoa, I'm never doing that based on my experiences with my parents. It's kind of like a pick and choose situation, but yeah,
Like,
parents are human.
right? And I don't think I definitely wouldn't be the person I am today without both my parents. My dad's a very kind of hard ass, tough kind of love kind of guy, and my mom is the very like sweet, loving, nurturing type. And I mean, I definitely have definitely both sides of those because I know I can turn it on to the point where I'm like very um the commiserative kind of from my dad's side of it, and basically that kind of point of it. But I also can realize like there's sometimes when I'm like us being assertive and kind of that sense is not the place, and you have to be very like relaxed and give some people time to breathe. And I can definitely thank my mom for that as well. Thank you, CJ, for checking the chat. She is not here yet, but we will have her in here. Rhodes says he skipped the teenage angst because I enjoy hanging out with them, and I'm 15 freshman. Nothing's wrong with hanging out with parents. What's it called? You will realize when you get older, it's definitely something that you'll definitely miss out on if you have not if you're not hanging out with your parents. It'll be definitely worth it. Um, the older you get. I mean, as long as it is safe and it's not like an abusive relationship, obviously that's definitely a big part of it as well. So you just said it's true too that at some point you realize that they were only human the whole time. And when you can actually quantify their weakness, you have to decide if they deserve a place in your life, just as you would with any relationship. Exactly. That's kind of exactly what I was just saying there. Toby, yes, Toby is the best boy. Well, that's another thing too. I got to catch in your stream is that someone redeemed a Toby snack. I think it was it or Toby treat or
Toby
something.
screen time, yeah.
Toby screen time, yeah, and that was That was probably the best part of that stream. No offense to you.
It's the best part of every stream.
Yeah, no
It's the
kidding.
reason why people watch me is because of him. They just want to see a glimpse.
I mean, I see why. A very fluffy boy. um, what gives your life meaning?
Hmm. um, that's a tough one. Because I feel like it's one of those things that like it's always evolving based
Okay.
on what you're learning and what your passions are. Um, because if you asked that question 5 years ago, you'd get a very different answer than what you'd get now. And if you'd ask me in high school, you get a very different answer
Of course, yeah.
than what you would get now. And again, I feel like I sound like a broken record. Helping people, self-discovery, self-awareness, learning. I love learning. I think learning is probably one of the things I'm most passionate about, and it kind of really helps define who I am because I always have this hunger for knowledge.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just
Thank you, Yankee, for the host, by the way. And as far as what you said in that sense as well, is I think that like I said, maybe I'll sound like a broken record too, and that's okay as well. Is I think that goes to show how passionate you are of this of getting into that the being a counselor and wanting to support people and help people and improve people. Doc, you leaving? Is that what I'm hearing? No. Thank you for coming in, Doc. Either way, if you are leaving, thank you so much for coming in and saying hi. Appreciate it. The Yeah, as far as that and the wanting to help, um, and I'm sure it's going to come up a lot more times, and that's totally okay. Is I think it just reiterates that I think you are really doing kind of what you love and what you're very passionate about, and I think that's really. Oh, you're saying hi to Yankee. Hi. Is it nighttime where Doc is or Yankee?
no, his old gamer tag was Knight.
Oh, I see.
So I still call him that just because that's how I've known him, and it does cause a lot of confusion like right now because
Yeah.
it's like
Good
there's no
night.
Knight in here.
That's okay. Uh, I'll get on it, Doc. Don't worry. I'll learn my lingo. I call him Knight too. It's all good. It's called.
Yeah.
I will learn. So Yankee is Knight. Is that right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like when you rebrand and like people still call you by the old name because
They
that's
old
just
me.
they've known you for like 10 years. Not that I've known him for 10 years, but it's just hard.
It's like known for 10 years. Known for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Yankee. Thank you for joining. As you know, our lovely guest, exclamation mark guest, will get you all the links for Vix. If you guys haven't, if you guys are coming from my side, or if you're just joining from Twitch, the talk shows and podcast things, well, go follow. Thank you, CJ. Go follow all those three links that we have in there. It'll definitely be worth your time. It is a good investment. It was one of the most calmer and relaxing conversations that I was able to jump into for as far as a Twitch stream. And definitely something that'll be worth your time. I saw Toby there. No TikTok. I don't know. Do you have TikTok? You didn't send me any TikTok.
I'm a consumer of TikTok. I'm not a producer of TikTok.
A lurker, if you will.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta respect the lurk.
I will say, as someone who is a big as someone who is a big fan of TikTok, I guess we could say, or someone who can see it, I would say is yes, Vix talks. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Kale said it perfectly. We need some Vix talks. I would definitely say it would be a good, an interesting way for you to kind of use your platform. And I think you could use it to ultimately help people in a certain way of using kind of like things to maybe cope or maybe relax or whatever it may be, to use that as. I think it would be definitely worth it. Consumer level, eight later, 8 hours later. Exactly, dog. I totally agree. You'll be like trying to fall asleep and you're like, oh my god, it's already 5 in the morning. Or at least that's me. Here we have. What is a life-changing event that you've experienced? So we know you haven't broken any bones. But is there anything else?
Oh man, I feel like there's a lot of life-changing experiences that I've had to experience.
Okay.
Um,
You're more than
my
welcome to
first
say more
time
than
going
one.
yeah, my first time going abroad, that was a big one just because it gave me a lot of new perspectives, not only to see what other countries and cultures are like, but how my own country and culture is perceived, positively and negatively.
You're from the States, correct? Like you were you born there?
hmm
Okay. So yes, yeah. Unfortunately, there I'm sure there's some downsides to what other countries see it for sure. And I think coming from Canada, we obviously see a lot, but unfortunately, I think it does shine a light. Unfortunately, when you do go visit other countries and see how they perceive it, sadly.
Yeah, the first time I went abroad, I was 17, so I was a teenager. Um, and was hanging out with other teenagers because it was a cultural exchange program in Italy.
Okay.
So it was very interesting to kind of see because you have this vision of what going abroad is like and what another country is like, where the main language is in English and just like the European lifestyle. And it was kind of like it was not what I expected it to be, but it was also way more than I expected it to be. And I just think from a globalization point, like that was very much it kind of helps solidify my kind of value in being an understanding person and kind of like an empathetic person and really liking to learn more about other people, their experiences, and kind of come from a point of understanding and just curiosity almost. Um, I would encourage everyone. I know it's especially right now in a pandemic, it's very hard to go abroad, but I think it's very, very, very important for you to experience a culture that's different from your own, especially if they do not speak English as their main language.
Interesting. See, scares me. The only place I've been as a main language would be Mexico, and I went to a resort, so obviously the people there are speak very fluent English. They're all very good,
hmm
and they're very supportive. They're used to people like myself that are very uncultured, unfortunately, in like their things. But it's definitely something that it's that discomfort and getting out of your kind of comfort zone and learning about something new, and that might not be easy either. Um, Especially with the like you said the task of learning a different language or having to kind of on the fly almost learn a different language if you will. But yeah, no, I going abroad would be definitely something that I would eventually love to do. I wish I was kind of in your situation where I would be able to do it when I was younger. I envy you in that sense, as I think that's something that you, and I think that also curated your um, kind of a start of where you kind of started feeling that kind of help for people and wanting to learn about other people and support other people in ways that you could, especially at a young 17-year-old age, as you said.
Yeah, I also spent a month and a half in China after I graduated college. My best friend's family is from there. I actually got to I took 3 years of Mandarin, but they don't speak Mandarin, where I went to in China. So I was completely immersed in an environment where I had no idea what was going on because I couldn't even remotely understand the dialect being spoken around me. My best friend was my lifeline. She was my translator. She had to relay everything to me, and then I had to relay things for her to say to her
Mhm,
family. And again, it's just one of those things where you feel small and you realize, like just because most places speak English and like this is the way I see life as being portrayed, like this is not the only way people live. And
sure, yeah.
English, like to be somewhere where you can't read anything on the signs, you can't understand what's being said around you. Maybe there was a word or two of Mandarin thrown around, but for the most part, there were dialects of Chinese being spoken that I had zero experience with. Um,
Tough, yeah.
it was for me at least, at first it was stressful, but then I kind of found a rhythm and a comfort in it. It's just a very unreal experience to be immersed like that
For sure.
somewhere.
Definitely would be a scary feeling in a sense. And we've talked about this a bit before, and you mentioned it earlier, is the kind of cultural differences and how, in a sense, kind of like every culture has their kind of weird little thing. And one of our past guests, Faye Filipina, or Jess, what we had on here, and she'd grown up in, I believe, the Netherlands, I think she said, and then she moved to the States, I believe, from there, or she moved somewhere else and then the States, I think, if I'm correct. And she mentioned one. I said to her, I was like, "What's the weirdest like cultural thing that you remember coming from like Netherlands and then going into the States?" And she's her biggest thing is she's like, "I don't understand why so many people like hang the flag outside." She's like, "I totally understand it for like the military reasons, but she's like, aside from that, she's like, I just don't get it." She's like, "It's one of those things that I don't understand." And it's so funny. It's like the small little things that we just do because it's to us normal. It's what we've always known. But then you go out of your kind of bubble, if you will, and you see how different people live their lives in certain senses. How big this world kind of really is, and you feel, like you said, feel a little bit more small than you thought you were, and you thought you kind of knew more than you did.
It's very humbling.
Very, I'm sure. It's something that I like I said, I'm very envious of you doing. I'm sure, and we've had conversations, me and my girlfriend, of going to like somewhere like Japan and kind of going and seeing, and that's something that'd be totally different from here. And like and kind of being able to immerse yourself, and I would love to do that for like a month if I could, or something like that. And I've heard so many people say like that's on their list as well. And I think it's because it's such a different, from what I've heard, very different kind of culturally, and like the level of kind of like respect is so huge in Japan, and it's something I would love to kind of see and how it kind of works in that. Seeing the cultural norms that they have that we might not have over here in North America would be very interesting. Um, as a force, are we humans creative or destructive?
I feel like those go both hand in hand. Like when you create, sometimes you do destroy. So that's kind of like almost like a loaded question. Um,
You will see a
just
lot of these are
because,
loaded questions.
yeah, just because when you are creating something, a lot of the time you're destroying something else. So both, I would say.
Sadly, yes. You're very right on that fact. Yes, that's what CJ said as well, is that when you're creating something, unfortunately, sometimes things get a little bit destructed in the passing of that. I think we're gonna take a quick little break here. If you guys haven't already, exclamation mark guest. Go view Vix on all of her social medias and follow them if you haven't already. I know quite a few of you are from Vix's stream, so thank you, welcome. And for those of you, I would love for you guys to join our Discord, which is exclamation mark Discord, and you guys can come see. You're probably hearing my lock closing. I'm so sorry. And the Discord is going to be having a game night on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be playing Minecraft for the first time ever. So if you guys want to join our Minecraft server and learn and build and kind of get to know the community, it's a very good way to do it, and it's a lot of fun. And if you guys are 18 plus, we also have 18 plus game nights too. You're more than welcome to join as well. I don't have the date off the top of my head, but we will definitely have one. If we stand Minecraft, we do stand Minecraft. So if you guys haven't already, go check out those links. We will be back in a little bit. I'm going to run the break screen for a few minutes. Stay tuned. We will be asking deep questions after this break. Very deep questions. We're getting very deep. We'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
Life into a bigger perspective for me. So they're like, listen, your 20s are a very small part of your life. Risk a lot of things in order to make the rest of your life better. So my thing was like, I'm just going to try a bunch of shit, risk a bunch of money even. Like I floated money into crypto. It's doing great now. I'm happy about that. That's a big risk that I probably wouldn't take if I had a family and children and things like that. But in my 20s, I can do it. I can lose all my money tomorrow and I have a job. I'll be fine. But if I have kids, I can't be risking shit like that. So just take risks while you're young. It's the best piece of advice I've ever received. So don't have kids. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
I am so petrified of flying. If I die without having stepped foot on an airplane and been able to fly in an airplane somewhere, I have failed.
How we put a number on it? If I put this as a TikTok and we get enough likes, what would it take for me, after COVID is all done and everything like that, because obviously we got to do it safe, for me to go to you and we go skydiving together?
You said how many what?
How many likes?
How
many likes?
Oh my god, dude. Going skydiving, I'd have to know the dude. We're sitting down for coffee. I want to know how long he's flown, where his mother was born, and then maybe 500,000. 500,000, and I'll consider possibly under the right circumstances.
I've been asking streamers what's the best advice they've ever received. And here's what they told me.
What's the single best piece of advice you've ever received? Listen. This piece of advice is very important to me because I am what you call a jealous person. Because I think I found it on Instagram or some shit. Something stupid. But it said that someone else's success is not your downfall, okay? And I was like, that's true, alright? Because I'd seen someone else doing super successful and I'm like, why can't that be me? I can't be happy for them, blah blah blah, they're doing so good. And I'm like, you know, just because someone is doing good doesn't mean that you're doing bad. We live in capitalism, so someone's success is your downfall.
Recently, I've been asking streamers, toilet paper, over or under? And here's what they said.
Toilet paper over or under? Over 1,000,000%. It's just so much easier. Why the fuck would it be under? Why?
Toilet paper over or under? I just wash my ass with my hands, bro. Easy. Don't have to waste toilet paper. Very eco-friendly. All you gotta do is have a bucket with some soap water, dip your hand in that bitch, wipe your ass, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay, first, toilet paper over or under? I usually put it in the butthole. No, it's over for sure. Over 100%.
Toilet paper over, under, over. And if you disagree, you're wrong.
Toilet paper over or under? God, the most important question. What did you just fucking say?
Over?
Dead to me.
Under.
Don't fucking play with me. Under. If you put it under, you could just rip across. You put it over, you gotta like be careful or the whole roll's gonna end up on the fucking floor. No way.
This is part 7 of asking streamers, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Here's what they said.
What's the single best piece of advice you've ever heard? Ooh, that's a good one. Live life doing things knowing that if you don't do it, you'll regret it. So do things that you know that if you don't do it, you'll regret, you know? So just live life to the fullest and don't regret anything. You don't want to grow old and live life and be like, wow, I wish I did that. You don't regret things that you did. You regret things that you didn't do more than the things that you did do. So really don't care about anyone else's opinions, and there'll always be people that'll be judging you. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be regretting, even if it turns out bad, because you're going to be like, wow, I did it. It may not have turned out good, but I did it.
Recently, I've been asking streamers, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? And here's what they said.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut sauce.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut creme. You know the little French apostrophe? Creme. Nut creme. There we go. Nut creme. I think that's fucking perfect.
No, if peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? The first thing that comes to mind, sticky brown. I know that's terrible. I know that's absolutely terrible. But it's better than some stupid like fucking nut juice. I don't know. Oh.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Nut juice? No, wait.
If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter, what would it be called? Yeah, no, I can't think of anything. Because it's still buttery, you know what I mean? It's fucking peanut butter. It's peanut butter. There's nothing else. It's the best one.
Recently, I've been asking streamers, what 3 items would you bring to the register if you were trying to make a cashier uncomfortable? Here's what they said.
What 3 items would make the cashier uncomfortable? Condoms, baby food, and icy hot.
What 3 items would you bring to the register if you wanted to make the cashier at the grocery?
Hello, hello. I am so sorry. You guys might have hit a second roll of that break thing. I'm so sorry. So quite a bit happened there. Well, we are on the break. That was. Oh, okay. So, well, first off, I don't know if you guys heard at the very end there, my voice was getting like very like kind of like choppy and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, like I probably like my voice is kind of hurting. So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get water. And Vic said, "Oh, why don't you get tea?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So I went and got tea. Figured out that I don't have honey, and then I was like frantically like pulling through all the drawers trying to see if I could find honey, and we don't have it, which is. And then, hi, Captain Cat. You're about to hear me being very unorganized and crazy. And well, thank you for the follow as well. See, I was gonna do tea and honey. Vix even said that I should do that too, and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And you and Chad are basically like the same person because you always tell me the same thing. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go and get tea. And so I started tea. The water was taking forever to do it. I actually got it. And then I kicked my chair over because it's sitting right here, and it rolled and hit our robo vacuum that's over here. And then the robo vacuum turned on, and it started running around the house. And then I started chasing it around the house. And it's kind of funny because, like, what you guys obviously don't know is that robo vacuum has googly eyes on it. And so watching a googly eye thing roll around the house is just, it was just a nightmare. And then I'm chasing after it going, no, no, no. And that was the break. So I'm sorry if it went a little longer than usual. That's usually not how long we usually like to run that break thing, but.
What I want to know is what the vacuum's name is.
Vacuum's name is Roger. Of course that is a name. It actually does have a name.
If it had googly eyes, like I was assuming there was a name to go with it.
No, my girlfriend is very adamant. It's if something has googly eyes, it has a name. So I actually have googly eyes on my camera as well, and the camera's name is Iris. And then we have we have a standing light in our bedroom, and his name is Harrison. And he has a little like little like hanging light that comes off the side, and that is Harrison Jr. So everything has names in this house. Yes, no, that's a good question actually. That's that I think you're the first person who actually has asked that question, and well, actually, first off, knows this because we got this RoboVac during the middle of the pandemic. Both of you need Google Eyes on your mics. Ooh,
That'd
Bradley.
be distracting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's my ADHD mind. I don't know if I can handle that, but I mean, it's not a bad idea for the comedy part of it. Would the microphone's name be Michael then?
That's just too predictable. You have to think outside the block. You have to think outside the box. You know,
Is
like
Mickey?
Reginald or something.
Reginald? Ooh, Rudolph. Yeah, no, that you'd have to definitely go for a an obscure name. I think would be. I mean, yeah, I mean Michael would be kind of like Dave. Yeah, Michelangelo. I mean, I feel like that's a little too predictable. CJ. Dave is kind of funny though. Dave. Maybe we'll name it Dave Bradley just for you. Even without the googly eyes, it'll be Dave for the microphone. You guys can't even see him. Actually, no, you can. So this is Dave now. Get back to the questions. As I said, we're going to deep questions. I'm like trying to get my focus back because like I'm like totally like scatterbrained after like chasing a robot vacuum around the house.
Roger, yes.
Around the house. So deep questions here. We're gonna ease it into it. I don't want to jump right into the deep end here. Scatterbrain is the way of life. You can't say it better myself, Kat. We talked about a little before, and as you said, maybe to relax my throat. I should have some tea and honey. What do you do to relax or decompress?
I do a lot of things because I feel like self-care is something that's very important, especially if you have the kind of like stress load, whether it be real or imagined, that I feel like I experience a lot of the time. But I'm a huge fan of unplugging. So taking time off of social media, I think that's really important. I try to do that on Sundays. For the most part, I try to stay off the computer, stay off social media, just because I feel like you need a break. I love taking baths. I think baths help kind of like relax your body, relax your mind. Yoga, again, relax your body, relax your mind. Crafting, like doing something creative. that for me helps me relax because it's kind of like a new thing for my brain to kind of handle. I wouldn't say gaming is my way of relaxing just because I do it so often. Reading, stuff like that.
You find since you stream games sometimes, and I would like, do you think that you find that gaming's become that in that sense of not wanting to game outside of a stream because it's almost feels, in a sense, like, this is a weird way of putting it, but like work in a sense?
See, that's why I've never been interested in streaming full time because
course.
that was always my fear. My fear was always that once I took something that I enjoy and turn it into something that is a job, it's gonna suck the enjoyment right out of it. um, it depends. Like burnout, of course, is a natural thing that happens, especially if you are playing one particular game or if you're streaming one particular
Totally.
game. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure. I know I felt that kind of pressure before where like, oh, like this is the top game that I stream. This is the game that gets me the most views. Like this is the game that I built a lot of my community on. Like I need to keep playing this game. And I kind of did that for a while, but in the long run, you're just going to end up burning yourself out completely. And people are going to kind of see that. So I think it's important to not stream every game that you play if you're a streamer. And maybe just have like a couple of games that you just play for you, because there's also a lot of pressure. Like, at least I find myself thinking this, like, oh, I need to like not play this game because I want to stream it.
Yeah.
So instead of, we did have fun playing PUBG.
PUBG's a good game.
Instead of you being a streamer is so weird because it changes your outlook and your mentality on a lot of things. Like, oh, I need to do this for the content. Like, I can't do this yet because I need to save it for content. And it's like, no, like sometimes you just need to do things for you. Like, it goes beyond content. It goes beyond your community and being entertaining. Like, I'm trying to think of the last time I experienced a game for the first time not on stream. Like something I just played for myself, and man, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. That's, yeah, like, obviously I can't speak for you, but for myself, is gaming was my escape. And when I started streaming it, it definitely became a thing where I was like, okay, I'm losing the interest in gaming. And I mean, I've still lost it a little bit because I think, in my opinion, there's not too many amazing games that I haven't played out there right now. There's no new games, and I think that's probably a byproduct of the COVID hitting and places shutting down around this, probably from the production time now that's starting up. However, I think we're gonna get hit with a wave of good games coming up here soon, which I'm really excited for. But for now, it's kind of like, but yeah, I definitely hear that feeling of, oh, I don't want to play this on that. And you also got to be able to kind of entertain while you're playing these games, and that's not something when you originally picked up a controller maybe like a couple of years ago, playing a video game just for the fun of playing a video game wasn't the case. And it is kind of weird in some sort of fashion. And I'm going to go back just for CJ because I know I'm going to get yelled at later if I don't say it. I explained it to you already, but CJ's biggest thing is that he says all the time on his streams is, and especially when he ends off his nights, says drink some tea and honey and take a bubble bath because you deserve it. And when you said the bubble bath and told me about the tea, I think the boy lost his mind. And I did tell you that at the break too. Is that I said, I swear you guys are like the same person, in that sense. And yeah, Bradley, you're not wrong. He's already looking crazy. Tell him. Yeah, and I think when you find a game that obviously speaks to a kind of a niche audience, you obviously want to stick to that game because it's working. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to stick to that kind of thing? But it also goes down a kind of, are you doing it for the long run or the short, the like kind of the short time kind of gain? And unfortunately, I think is a lot of creators get stuck on one game, and to the point where they don't even like it, and it starts to show in their content, of course, because why wouldn't you, like, if you're not going to happy, how are you expecting anyone else to be happy in watching your streams? And that's something that's definitely super sad because There's been a couple people I've talked to and that are feeling like this burnout. They're like, I can't switch because this is my game. Like this is what I play. This is what people want, and no one should have to feel that way, that they can only play one game or that they can do a thing. Because at the end of the day, this should all be for fun. Obviously, there's people making money off of this, and excuse me, and there's things like that, but no one should feel like trapped in a corner where they will definitely, or they won't be able to like do this or play this game or the game that they really wanted to try just because people won't watch. And I wish that there was more push or like movability for things like that on whatever app it may be, Twitch, Mixer, or YouTube gaming, or Facebook gaming, or wherever it may be. Get there, because I think that would be, it's the amount of times that I found a game Mixer, I know, so sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's the amount of times that I found a game that I liked because I watched someone else play a brand new game that I've never seen before. I cannot tell you the times, and the feeling I get when I get to try a game that I've seen someone else play, and kind of I'm like, oh, that's what they did. That it's just so cool. Like a perfect example is that the most recent one was Hitman 3. I got to see someone playing it. I was like, oh, Hitman 3's out. It's cool. Mixer, never heard of it. I'm so sorry. I really hit a nerve there. I'm so sorry. That wasn't meant to be a nerve. I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't the point of it. However, I will say about PUBG, I might hit another nerve here, and I'm very sorry. Is through my research, as I told you, I researched to kind of build up the intro in some sort of sense. I rolled across a YouTube clip from a friend of yours, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if you search up your Mixer username on Google, one of the videos that pops up on YouTube, or maybe it's on YouTube, I searched it up, one of the videos that it pops up is one of your friends coming up behind you in PUBG and killing you on stream. And he's like, she's gonna be so mad. And it was just one of those things that was like really funny. Let me go find it now, because now I
want to know like what clip this is,
Hang on
because that's happened many times. It's not just a one-time thing.
Well, of course.
I was gonna say that couldn't be me. I don't think you've ever TK'd me, Kat.
I don't think it was a team kill. I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's true. The tree.
Going back through all my things here. Flues is the name.
Oh, Flues.
And
yeah.
I'm gonna put it.
We used to play PUBG a lot.
I'm gonna put it in their chat here. Between you and I, if it'll let me. I don't actually have a screen for showing the thing yet, but I'll have to get it worked on. Here, if I can get to the point where he tells you, and you guys can at least hear the audio of it. So I'll play the audio for a second here.
Woo! It was Vix! Oh, that sucks! Oh, it was Vix. Oh, she's gonna be so pissed. She's gonna be, dude, she had so much loot too. Oh my god, she's gonna be so angry. Somebody, I wish we could have clipped that.
I don't think so.
Oh man, poor Vix.
Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, so it says Floozy is the name of it's a YouTube channel. Flues,
yeah, I know
Floozy?
who Flues. Yeah,
Okay.
I call him Flues. I think he's rebranded to Flues.
Okay. Because it shows us
yeah.
Floozies, I think, on his overlay, but it looks like
that was his old name. Yes,
this was 3
like
years
a
ago
night
as well.
Yankee situation. A night Yankee situation again. Like,
Okay.
like they used to go buy one thing and now they're going by another.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was one of those things that I was like, ooh, and like I came over a couple clips, like I said to you, I talked about earlier, like gaming friends and stuff. And one of those things, it was you're one of the first creators that I actually can go find clips that are like been around for a little while, which is I thought was kind of cool, and it definitely made the research for me a lot more fun than anything. Because
cool or cringy, you know?
Cool.
It's one of those things.
I would say
like,
cool.
Kind of like it's borderline.
You know what's funny is one of the ones I found on Mixer was it was like like I told you earlier when we were talking before stream, is I found one of you and some friends playing, and it was your stream, but it was you spectating someone, and you it was you, and oh my goodness, you look so different from like I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and like of
I've been
course
a few different hair colors, yeah.
yeah, it was good. And at first I was honestly like, is that the same person? And then I heard you talk and I saw the tattoos and I was like, okay, it's definitely the same person. But it was one of those things. It's like it's so funny what I think it was like 3 years can kind of the difference of it. And I know it's just the reminiscing on the old Mixer days for the ones that know Mixer and love it dearly and miss it dearly. But so not all is gone from Mixer, I will say. There's definitely some residual pieces left around of the Mixer days of
I think I've got about 10 gigs of clips
Oh.
saved.
See,
Yeah,
I think that's what your TikTok needs to be is the memories of gotta give the people what they want. Even if it is you getting killed. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. I'm glad the bad pieces have flown away into the wind.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that stuff, Kat. What bad stuff? I don't know what you're talking about. Going into back to the questions. By the way, if you guys haven't already, I would love to have you guys on. Exclamation mark Discord. We'll give you our Discord link. If you guys haven't already, we'd love for you guys to join. You guys seem like you are an amazing community. I know you are. If you guys have followed from Mixer to Twitch to here, you guys, I love you guys already. So and as I said earlier in the stream, is I don't need a follow. I don't need a tip. I don't need a sub when I get it. I would love your time. That's what I am happy for. Time is one of those things that you cannot put a price on, really. Like, well, I mean, but if you really tried, but one of the things that I think is timeless, and one of the things you will not unfortunately get back, and so that means more to me than anything is your time and you guys being here and vibing with me, vibing with Vix, maybe another guest of mine in the possible future. That's what I'm good with. It's just a number at the end of the days for things like that. What I'm happy about is you guys giving that. So thank you so much for being here to begin with, and hope you guys will stay around for a while. I definitely appreciate it. If you do exclamation mark guest for the ones of you that are from my side or from the Twitch side who have just stumbled upon here, I would heavily ask you guys to go check out Vix. And I mean, I'm gonna say time's worth it, but go follow, because then you can see when she's online next. It'll be worth your time. It's a good follow. They have, as you guys can see in our chat, they got an amazing community. 10 out of 10 value. I agree. You're not even one dentist doesn't recommend it. I'm glad you got that joke because I didn't know if that would hit or not. And welcome, Crumbs. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining in. Woke up at 5 a.m. and now you're here. That's all good. You're here. That's all we care about. So thank you for joining back in. I appreciate it. As I said, Fuzzy the Bunny, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you join our little household that we got on Discord. It'll be really worth it. Also, too, you guys aren't in the Discord. What you will notice in the Discord is after today's stream is that our guest Vix will be inaugurated into the house guest position. So whenever she is streaming, you can also have it pop up there too, because she'll be at the very top of the Discord. And also too, as we hope, but obviously with busy schedules, we've already heard about the full-time at work, full-time at school, and having to try and stream somewhere in between there. We'd love to have you for a Discord game night at some point if you're more than open, if you're open to it, but that is obviously contingent on the very busy schedule you have to bounce around. See, maybe you do juggle. You juggle schedules.
Not well, but yes.
Kat, that's not a bad idea. We could definitely
Golf
do that.
with Friends is amazing.
That is a good game. It's one of those games I found myself like laughing to the point of crying with. So it's definitely a good game. Kat, yeah, no. What's called? We actually have a Discord thing that is game night ideas. So if you could go put that all week golfing, you definitely go put it in there. So I don't forget, first off, because my brain is like a mushroom. That was a weird word. When the end of the stream, but it will definitely be worth it to go and check out that part and put that in there. So just so I don't forget, because I'd be very happy to go and do it, to play golf with friends. But I probably will forget because unless someone writes it down for me. DJ, that means you. Write it down for me, please, if it doesn't end up in the Discord. But you're not streaming today's Chat the Deviant. I mean, we'll see. No, he does stream today. I believe he does. Let's get back to the questions here. Let's see here. What have we not asked here? What are some good ones? We asked about the relaxing. You said there's a lot of things that help you relax. By the way, going back to that, I didn't touch on it. I think this Sundays without like social media or like technology. You said technology or social media?
Both.
Both awesome. It's something I definitely need to do, and I need to get a more consistent schedule of my work schedule because I think if I had a more consistent of when I know like I'm off, I mean, I guess I could do it at work, but it's not as like relaxing in that sense. Is being able to stay away from everything. I think it's something which, and I don't know if you've watched the movie Social Dilemma.
I have not.
It's a amazingly well done movie about how people are essentially addicted to their phones, whether you want to believe it or not, and how even people who built the apps are addicted to their phones.
I mean, I feel like in general, like that's just kind of what our society is. Like, so many of us have kind of like addictive personalities. Gaming is kind of one of those things that it's actually been like gaming addiction is now a thing. Like it's actually in the DSM-5 for diagnosing mental illness. That's what we use in America, the DSM. So it's just one of those things where, again, the internet is a beautiful but terrible thing, and it's allowed us to consume so much content at any time, which is amazing if you're looking for information, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of us are just so overly stimulated.
And then when we're not stimulated for even like a second, it's like we're bored. We need to find something to do. Grab our phone, grab this, check your phone. Have you checked it again? Have you checked it? Have you checked it? And yeah, no, like I think for that is the most freeing moments I've ever felt is when I haven't looked at my phone in an hour. And whether that be talking with friends and things like that. And this is really a good reason why I like this, is I'm not sitting here on my phone the whole time being like blah, 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 like and doing things that I'm actually interacting with a human to human. I'm focused, like obviously on chat as well to make sure that I'm talking with the friends, but I also get to focus on someone and learn about someone and how they see life and stuff like that. And that to me is so much more interesting than scrolling through. I mean, I'm sorry, but scrolling through something like a TikTok, which is very usually mindless. However, I will say there is a lot of smart people on there.
There are a lot of smart people and a lot of smart tips on TikTok.
Definitely, and I cannot disagree with that in any way, because I think there's things that I've even learned. And another thing too for you guys, and I'm sorry, this is gonna make you all go to your phone for a second here. Go to TikTok. Does any of you guys in the top left corner of your TikTok thing have a little light bulb that says "Learn"? Or then when you click it says "Learn"? Everyone else that yeah, you can go check if you want. Let's go.
I'm looking.
Everyone else that I've asked does not have this thing on it, and I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just everyone else. It does not have it installed. That's okay, Kat. It's probably a good idea. You probably save a lot of your day because you don't have that app on your phone. But if you guys do, go and see if it's on there. Because I have this little light bulb and it's learned. You actually do have it. Interesting. Because
I don't have it.
You don't have it? Yeah. So let's go. So certain people have it. I don't know why. I talked to CJ the other night, and CJ said that he doesn't have it. So I'm like, I don't know if it's just randomly. But the audio worked probably because I'm foreign. Oh, Kat, where are you from? Maybe it's banned in your country, possibly. I don't know though. You're from New Zealand. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. We got a Kiwi in here. Welcome though. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a bit, CJ. Thanks for the lurk. And so yeah, so I think as far as I don't know. It's just some weird thing, and I don't know. Like I don't understand TikTok enough, but one thing I do understand about TikTok is it can be used for definitely brilliant things, but it also can be a real waste of time if you get in the wrong kind of scrolling loophole. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we have? Of course. Oh, here's a good one, and I'm sure I'm going to get a good answer from you based on what you're practicing for school. What social stigma does society need to get over?
Oh man, what social stigma does society not need to get over? That's a better question.
Right? So true.
It's one of those things where there's so many things. And I feel like society has come a long way, but we also have a long way to go. And it depends on your cultural background. It depends on where you're from. It depends on so many things. We could like we could go on forever about that. One thing that, and I can tie this back into TikTok and social media, one thing that I feel like those platforms have helped is kind of reframe how people think of mental illness and neurodiversity, such as ADHD, depression, anxiety. It's kind of made people more understanding and more aware that these are things that people suffer from or deal with on a regular basis. And I think that's a stigma that I think people are working towards, but we still have a really long way to go.
Well, totally. As far as mental health, sorry, 1 sec. I'm feeling like things in my throat. So give me 1 sec. As far as kind of social stigma in and kind of mental health is, I think we in the past, like, let's say 2-3 years, I think we've, as a society, I think we've done a lot better with. But you're right, we're not there yet. Like, it's not the point where everyone's talking about it. And I think one part that I've seen on TikTok, and I have talked about this on stream before, but I think it's, the more I talk about it, makes it less of a kind of a powerful entity, and it takes away people not wanting to talk about it, is kind of men's mental health and how men don't really talk about it. But I've noticed, because of how kind of random and sporadic For You pages on TikTok, I've seen a lot of males opening up about their being uncomfortable on TikTok, and being like, and how, like, their struggles in mental health and stuff like that. And but I think, is, if anyone can do that, even if it's male, female, whoever it may be, in that sense, is that is a definite, it supports maybe someone, maybe it helps the person get it off their chest, maybe it's the person watching, whoever it may be. I think the more it's talked about, the better it'll support it in a sense. And it takes off that kind of that powerful entity that it is, or as kind of, I don't know if it's the word, but I think we're definitely on the right path, but we need to continue that way to be able to get more of a benefit out of it. It's the ideal here.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like that. Which one doesn't need to be, or the other way around there in that question. Speaking about social media and how we have been recently, would you encourage the younger generation to use social media?
That's a tough question to answer, which of course
It's okay.
was your intention. But again, it's one of those things that it is, how can you stop them is the real question.
That is true.
Um
I live on a farm, son.
Here's the thing, again. The internet can be a terrible but wonderful place. It allows people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries to connect, share ideas, learn about each other. And I feel like that, especially when travel is not an option, whether it be because of finances or because of pandemic, it allows people to gain insight on how people different from themselves live and what they think. And I think that is something that's very valuable, especially for younger people of all backgrounds to learn. But at the same time, you think about cyberbullying, you think about all the negatives that social media kind of like perpetuates, especially like influencers, and how they have these completely unrealistic expectations about everything, really. Like social media, that you pretty much only see one side, and it's become more common for certain influencers or certain people or certain figures to kind of show like the other side of it, like, hey, especially with body image in women, I feel like there's a lot of, it's become kind of trendy for them to show like, this is like the shot on Instagram, and like this is like 2 seconds after, when I've like relaxed and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
kind of let everything
I'm
go.
comfortable now. Yeah.
And again, like that, I think it's important to kind of show that social media is an illusion. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all good lighting and good cameras and good angles. But that's such a tough question, because there's good and there's bad from
Totally.
social media use, for sure.
And I think it within range. And sorry, I'm just gonna go back to Hoodie's question here. Is do you guys think that mental health issues are being romanticized nowadays? Yes and
Absolutely.
no. Like there's parts of it. There's
Absolutely.
parts of it that there definitely are, and I think especially the people that are using it in kind of a meme way, if you will. Like I think that that's the side of it that's definitely not that romanticized, and I mean, not the most beneficial thing, if you will. Like I think it's opening up, but it's not. If you know what I mean, like it's almost like using it more as a I want to say crutch, but I don't think that's the right word.
It's almost like a status symbol.
Yes, I think that's probably a better way to put it. And I think with that is how are you dealing with it is more the better question, I think, rather than I do this because this, and I do this because of this, and it's something that even I'm not going to point fingers to everyone else. It's something that I do too. I have ADHD, and the amount of times that I say, "Oh my God, my ADHD brain," and stuff like that, and it's not something that like, and I use it sometimes as a joke and some sort of things like that, and it's not the best thing to do. But it's definitely something that I've kind of almost habitually done because it's almost something I've seen. Hoodie says I started seeing men show off their relaxing body too, and I'm so glad it happening for everyone. It's just so everyone's bodies are beautiful. Exactly. You like what you have because what's it called? Because I think there's so many. I'm very fortunate to be someone who has not dealt with any kind of body positivity issues. I mean, there has in a small time in high school I did for a little while, but as far as that, there wasn't too much kind of issues with my body image or anything like that, and I'm very fortunate to have that. But I'd say is the body is an amazing thing, and what's it called? And I think just that on itself is something that you really got to remember is you are special if you're on this earth, and whether that may push itself in different ways. But I think as far as the body is, I think how do you put it perfectly is bodies are beautiful regardless of what you want to say in any sort of fashion. Hi, Mom. Welcome. This is my mom, Mama Lisa, as I've spoken before. We were talking about you earlier. We were waiting for you. I was wondering where you were. But thank you for coming in. You had to go to appointment with Juliana. Did she pick up? She didn't pick up my stuff, did she? The thing on my porch, did she? Hi, Mom. Yes, this is the stream, Mom. And if you guys want to know more about Mama Lisa, on May 4th, I would love for you guys to come back. That is going to be the stream when we hopefully push over to affiliate, which would be nice and cool. And we're going to be interviewing Mom because over here in Canada, it is Mother's Day. And
May the 4th be with you. Yes.
Exactly.
Well.
May the 4th be with you. And exactly. So we will be doing Mother's Day things and things like that. And yes, Mom just got her vaccine as well. So Mom's probably not feeling too great, which is not good. So we hope you can vibe out here, meet our guest if you guys haven't already. And Mom, !guest. You know the deal. You know the drill. This is Vix. She's working towards being a licensed practicing counselor and through school, and is previously worked be our guest. Oh, we need to start some sort of song like that, Kat. That's a great idea. I actually never heard it like that, but it's definitely something that I've oh, Princess Leia headphones. Ooh, you do love Amazon, Mom. I'm sure you can find it on there. I'm notorious for getting songs in people's heads. I mean, I am probably the easiest one that you can get a song in the head stuck in that. I was singing a bunch of TikTok songs the other day, and I can't remember what the one that was like stuck in my head for like the whole day was. I can't even remember it now, which is probably a good thing. I probably shouldn't get it back in there. Yeah, ! Guest. Go follow our guest. It's definitely worth it. Mom, can you believe Vix used to have 30,000 followers on Mixer? And I don't know if you know what Mixer is because I know you're still learning Twitch. But Mixer used to be basically like Twitch. You're following on IG? Oh, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And so and then her very loyal community went over to Twitch with her and is hanging out with Twitch. So this is Vix. We're interviewing her. We got to the part where we're getting to the deep questions. So I know this is one of your favorite parts. So we're gonna keep on going here. We've been talking a lot about social media and how social media is definitely not the most part. So I figured it out, by the way. I don't know if you can hear. Can you hear the sound? Okay, so I think I figured it out. I think you have sound alerts on your OBS coming through somewhere. Because I can hear it every time. I think someone's following you, and every time I get that,
I wonder, because I wonder if it's the mic through Discord.
Oh, maybe.
It's probably doing my broadcast mix rather than my chat mic.
Maybe. I mean, it's not a big deal.
That's
It's just
probably
a
what it
little. It's a cute little noise. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but
It's a Sailor Moon noise because we love some Sailor Moon.
there you go. I know. If we have any Deviant Nation members, I know that a lot of Deviant Nation members are big fans of Sailor Moon as well. Queen Deviant is as well, and because I know CJ had to go here for a bit. Let's see here. What other questions we have? If you could ask a single person one question, and they had to answer truthfully, who would you ask and what would you ask? And they can be dead or alive.
That's a tough one.
So many brilliant brains that you could pick. So many amazing people that maybe you could help too with questions. Stuff's about to get real, Hoodie. You are right. You know it well, Hoodie.
That's so hard. One, because again, it's so hard for me to like choose just one thing.
Ask the CEO of Mixer why he sold.
Oh man.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, especially since I'm a history nerd, like that's so hard for me to freaking choose just one person.
Fair.
Salt
in the wound.
wound.
I'm so sorry.
Just rubbing it in there.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
grinding it on in.
Exactly.
Man. Because there's so many historical figures I'd want to like interview and ask, and dead and alive. Ooh, I don't know if I have an answer. I'm like spacing and panicking because I'm like going through my brain and all the things that I could ask and who I could ask them.
Right. There's so many brilliant minds we've had in this world and still do. What's called? I think there'd be.
Like kind of. Have you ever seen the movie Soul? It's a
Yes.
Pixar movie.
Yes. Great
You know where
movie.
they have the like mentors, like,
Yep.
and they're all those famous people. Like
Yep.
that's kind of what I'm thinking of like right
Yep.
now. Like all those kinds of people I would want to ask. Like they had Albert Einstein and like Mother Teresa and that kind of thing. Oh,
Hi, Tara. Welcome. We're wondering what single person that Vix would ask as a question if they had to answer truthfully, and who and what they would Vix would ask, and is dead or alive. And we're currently talking about we're in the third relay back to Disney again, which I'm very okay with, and talking about the movie Soul. And yeah, brilliant movie, by the way. It's one of my favorite probably movies that I think Disney's done in a long time. Like there's some good ones, but like that's definitely up there. Yeah, no, I that's funny because now all I'm gonna see when I'm thinking about that question is I'm just gonna see that little montage they have where 22, is that the name of the character?
yeah, and she just makes everybody rage quit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, going through the people and stuff like that, and yeah, no, beautiful movie though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought of anyone you can think of off the top of your head? Do you want to skip this one?
Yes, that's too much pressure. Yeah.
All right, no worries. It's all good. What is? Let's just see here. What is something that everyone, absolutely everyone in the entire world could agree on?
I don't think there is anything.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Just because like there are so many people that are so set in their ways, and there's so many people that see things only from one perspective. And there's so many things like you could tell somebody the sky is blue and they'd be like, well, no, actually it's this, or like the earth is flat or the earth is round. And there's always going to be that one person that has like a contradicting opinion. And I just think that's kind of both the beauty and the terrible part about humanity. It's like we all have so many differing opinions based on our differing experiences that I don't think you could find one thing that literally everyone in the world could agree on, whether that be belief systems, whether it be scientific facts, whether it be feelings. I don't think anybody, I don't think we could agree on anything.
Even up to colors.
If you're colorblind,
It's exactly.
your color is going to be different. Or if you're blind, your perception of things is going to be different.
You know what scares me more than anything, and it's something that I've thought about a lot, and this is related to the color thing, is what if people see the colors that I'm seeing differently? We just don't know because we've always been told
I
that's the
thought
color.
about that when I was a kid. Yeah,
And
I've thought about that a lot.
Like, what if my green looks like your purple, or like, you know what I mean, like that. That's why I don't sleep at night.
I agree. I've definitely thought about that exact situation before many times.
Because we've always been told like that's the color, and I see my mom just put that Soul won an Academy Award on Sunday, and it does not surprise me at all. I'm glad it did because I think it's such a, like I said, such a beautiful movie and such a good movie. We are going to hit a fast little break here. It's gonna be a very quick one. It's not gonna be like the last one. I'm not gonna go chase the robot around the room again. It's not happening. We're not doing it. If it does go off again, it'll be going around for the rest of the stream. And I hate this theory. I know, Hoodie. I'm so sorry. You're not gonna be able to unthink this if you haven't thought about this before. I'm very sorry. I'm just not my intention to do that, but now I've set off a chain reaction of now everyone's gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the day. Is what if blue doesn't look like blue, like to someone else? We will be right back. If you guys haven't already, use this time to go !guest, !Discord. Go follow Vix on her links. Go join the Discord so you guys can be ready for game night on Thursday. Go download Minecraft because we're going to do Minecraft on Thursday. We'll be right back very quickly. We're just going to hit a quick break and we will be right back with more deeper questions. Stay tuned, guys.
Who cares? Think of it. If I just don't do it, must be crazy. Does anyone care? Who cares? What if it doesn't work? Why? Are people gonna watch? Am I crazy?
No one's gonna watch this. Welcome to my Twitch stream. I've been asking streamers what's the best advice they've ever received, and here's what they told me.
What is the single best piece of advice I've ever received? Somebody just put like life into a bigger perspective for me. So they're like, listen, your 20s are a very small part of your life. Risk a lot of things in order to make the rest of your life better. So my thing was like, I'm just going to try a bunch of shit, risk a bunch of money even. Like I floated money into crypto. It's doing great now. I'm happy about that. That's a big risk that I probably wouldn't take if I had a family and children and things like that. But in my 20s, I can do it. I can lose all my money tomorrow and I have a job. I'll be fine. But if I have kids, I can't be risking shit like that. So just take risks while you're young. It's the best piece of advice I've ever received. So don't have kids. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
I am so petrified of flying. If I die without having stepped foot on an airplane and been able to fly in an airplane somewhere, I have failed.
How we put a number on it? If I put this as a TikTok and we get enough likes, what would it take for me, after COVID is all done and everything like that, because obviously we got to do it safe, for me to go to you and we go skydiving together?
Okay, good. Fast one, right? I said it. It was gonna be a fast one. We're not gonna do a long one. It's gonna be quick, a little one. Thank you for staying with it. Appreciate you guys. As I said, we're gonna go into deeper questions. If you guys haven't already, go follow Vix. !guest. Let's see. Next question here. What do we got here? Let's go for one of my favorite deep questions. I'm all about the deep questions. I'm all about them too, Kat. Yes, get that popcorn ready. I like that. What is your biggest fear in life?
I would say, how do I phrase this? Like, I know what it is, but putting it into words is a bit of a struggle. So bear with me.
Okay.
I would say my biggest fear in life is not making the impact on people's lives that I know I can, whether that be not helping enough, disappointing people, something along those lines.
It's heavy. That's hard because it's also something that you can't control either,
Exactly. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
which is tough because it's a great one. Don't get me wrong, but it's also a tough one because it's something that's so like, I mean, it's within your control and it's to a certain extent. Like it's not like you can, yeah. It's a lot. That's a lot of pressure on yourself. Yeah, no, I think as far as that, it's definitely a selfless fear, I will say, as far as that, and it's something that stressed me out too. Consider in that sense of considering it also something that you can't control. What when did something start out badly for you, but in the end it was great?
There have been many things in my life like that.
I mean, if it ended out good, if it ended up being good, I mean, that's always a positive. It's not, but yeah.
It's one of those things where bad things can happen to you, but as long as you learn from them, I feel like in a sick and twisted way, it kind of makes them worthwhile. Like everything that happens, you can take something away from it, whether it be like a relationship or a traumatic event, like something, you always are learning something. And I think that is kind of like the beauty of life in a lot of ways, that we are constantly learning and we can process experiences in a way that down the road can kind of, we can either avoid them or handle them in a different way. So I know I'm not being very specific, but I think it's things like that that are so like impactful and meaningful and make such a difference.
Okay. No, it's good. And just kind of being able to, I'm gonna put this into words, but I'm like, my brain's like it's turning into the scatterbrain that I am. I think it is definitely something that I can relate with it, especially with like things starting out badly and then ending up good in the end. I definitely understand. Is there's a good example of this would be streaming. I think is something that I definitely I worried about, and something that I was like, it was something that definitely started out badly for me in a sense, is that I was not happy at the beginning of it when I was doing just strictly gaming and stuff like that. And once I kind of came onto this format of being able to connect with people, and it was something that I was passionate about and I liked doing, it became a whole lot more fun. And now it's like it's super awesome, and it's something that I'm like I wake up every day I'm like super excited to do. There's obviously their downsides. I'm not saying this is perfect world in the streamer world, and I'm sure you can relate in some fashion, is that there's definitely the tough days of being a streamer. What if today's the day that people are decide they don't want to listen or they don't want to hang out with me in that sense? And that's definitely something that I mean worries me in that sense, is what if people just don't vibe with it anymore, and that day might come, and I hope that that day doesn't come soon, but I mean it's definitely something that looms over my head, and something that scares me, but for now, I'm going to make the best of it, what I have, and the people that I get to meet, and the really amazing people that I've gotten to speak to on this, and been able to kind of give a space for them to kind of communicate openly with me and other people. I think is been very, very exciting for me, and I hope for you as the guest and you guys as the people who are able to watch this and interact in this time as well. As it's been a lot of fun for me so far, so I hope you guys are having fun with this as well. You ever feel like a child?
Like there are moments that kind of are throwbacks to feeling that like childlike sense of joy and wonder. And I feel like a lot of the time, especially as I'm getting older, they become more fleeting. But that also, because of their rarity, it makes them more special. As far as feeling naive, like a child naive kind of feeling, that happens less often than it did before, just because as you go through life, you learn things easy way, hard way. Same with innocence. Like if we're talking about childlike innocence, childlike wonder, that's part of growing up, unfortunately, but it also makes those fleeting moments so much more valuable when they do happen, and it makes you appreciate them more. And like somebody in your chat was saying earlier, like, oh man, I can't wait to grow up. Like, no, it's a scam.
Roads.
Holding on to being able to experience things for the first time, making mistakes in an environment where they're less impactful. Just that freedom, that sense of freedom is one of those things that I don't necessarily feel, but I miss.
Yeah, definitely like a lot of like first time is so one thing for me is legal age and for like drinking and gambling and things like that is 19 over in BC, Canada. And so for my 19th, kind of like the month following my birthday is me and a couple of my friends, basically all we did is like all the 19 things that we could do essentially. Aside from like, I mean, smoking and things like that, because like, I mean, that's one thing that I just prefer to opt out of. But the thing is like going to buy first alcohol, going to a movie that was like had alcohol in the theater and so yeah, and that you could go to like they call it the VIP movies. Being able to go to the gambling and like go do that kind of things and all those types of things is something that I really wish I would be able to kind of like experience that kind of like, wow, like this is like the kind of new sort of thing. And but also too is also in the sense of experiencing maybe certain foods when I was younger and like being able to get that first kind of initial like, wow. And like now today I'm like, I eat chicken nuggets because I had like a good relation with it when I was younger and things like that. And like things that built who I am is kind of built on what I learned as a kid and maybe experienced for the first time ever, and got that kind of like good endorphins when I was a kid and when I maybe tried like, let's say, a sandwich for the first time or something like that. I definitely agree with you on that sense. I wish there was more times where I could connect and feel like really a kid again and be able to kind of consume things and that kind of nature. Definitely something I would kill for in a sense. What do you regret doing in life?
It's going to sound very cliche, but I regret a lot of the chances I didn't take.
Okay. Is there anyone in particular?
So, being able to travel more often, taking more risks, taking risks is a big one. Like getting outside of my comfort zone, things like that. Where, again, growing up, I was extremely shy. I'm less shy now, but still pretty shy. And I just think about all the opportunities I missed as a kid because I was too shy to like participate in them, or things right out of undergrad, like, man, I wish I took that English teaching job in China, or like, man, I wish I did this or that. It's just one of those things where change and risk are uncomfortable, but you can reap a lot of rewards from them and experience. And I think that is something that you need to think about and consider a lot of the time.
Like how you can push yourself out of that kind of maybe comfort zone in a sense, and you know, I think and I'm not going to show it again because I've showed it almost every other stream. But I have a thing on my wall that says seek discomfort, and it's something I look at daily because I think it's something that I want to be uncomfortable, because if I'm uncomfortable, I am improving myself, or I'm getting some sort of benefit out of it, whether I like it or not. Off the bat, at least. At the end, I will look back at it and be like, "Hi, Blue. Welcome to the stream, by the way." We kind of rolling in there from the things that you regret not doing and stuff like that. What are 3 items that are on your bucket list?
Travel more.
Is there any specific place?
I mean, for sure, but it would definitely be more than 3. Or are you asking like in general outside of the 3?
Sorry? Outside of the 3. Yeah. Just like what if there's one list.
Pretty much everywhere. I'd love to go to Australia and New Zealand to meet my Aussies and Kiwis. And it's just always somewhere I wanted to go. I've wanted to go meet your Kiwi again in her natural environment. You know, I have had the pleasure of being able to meet Kat IRL several times, but I've never gone to her neck of the woods in order to do it.
Gotta get over there.
Mm-hmm.
The last guest and the next guest are both Australian, so that's one thing for me. Like as you said, Australian, I'd love to go. And New Zealand, as Kat said that she's from, is also another place I think would be awesome to go to too. I think that's the culture would be really awesome to see and get to see in the actual culture. We have better accents. Sorry, Bog.
Wow. More parts of Asia. I'd love to go to China again. I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Korea. I'd love to go to Taiwan, Thailand, Southeast Asia. I'd love to go to the Middle East just because that is a culture I have very little experience with, but I'd love to learn more about. Spanish speaking countries, South Africa, Egypt, all over the African continent, because I feel like you don't, at least from my point of view, I don't learn very much about different cultures in Africa, and I would love to like experience that and kind of like weed things out. Where wouldn't I love to travel? That again, that would be the
flippity of the
easier
question.
question to
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Basically everywhere. I'd love to travel everywhere and to go to as many places as I possibly could.
Going back to the
Bucket list.
bucket list. So you said you had travel as the one. So
Travel.
we'll put that as a bucket together because what's it called? I don't want to make it too easy for you.
Yeah. Trying to think. I'd love to be fluent in a language other than English. Or like whether it be fluency or learn as many languages as I can, like pieces. Just because when you learn language, Spanish does feel good in my mouth, yes. When you're learning a language, it kind of opens your mind in a different way. And it also is, again, allowing you to kind of experience another culture in a way that is very unique. Because traveling, yes, but learning the language, learning the history of the language, being able to speak the language, think in the language, that's something completely different.
I definitely read that as spinach. It feels good in your mouth, and I was like, huh? What's it called? But the I take it that you are not able to. Hello, I'm Popeye. Are you? You're not. That's English is your only language you speak fluently. Is that what you're saying?
Fluently, yes. I've taken Spanish, Chinese, and Italian.
Okay.
But Spanish may be closer to fluency at the time, but not so much anymore. It's a very use it or lose it situation.
Okay. And then the third one. What's the third one? So travel, fluent in languages.
I'd love to be able to like meet all my internet friendos in real life. I've had the pleasure of meeting many of them. And again, the beauty of the internet is allowing me to connect with all these wonderful people all over the world, but to be able to hug them, to like actually see them before me, yeah, that would just be, to me, that would mean so much.
Yeah, it'd definitely be cool. Like I think there's so many people I've met on here, and there is so many. I've already made it very clear on this podcast that after pandemic, I think I'm gonna have to take a month off work and do like a states trip through and meet all the friends that I've made off of here and say hi to all of them, whether it's just like a simple kind of hello, go get food, or if it's a hey, I'm staying at your house for a couple days type of thing. Depends, but I think is something that it's so crazy how many amazing people you get to meet on things like this. And yeah, no, also me getting to meet your amazing people, like as far as I'm so sorry, that's gonna blow everyone's ears out. I'm so sorry. Hi, thank you for the raid. I'm so sorry. Or thank you for the Alexis. That was your stream. I'm so sorry. It's so loud. I don't think I turned it down after the last thing. I'm so sorry. It's so loud too. I'm so sorry. Hi, Real Practice. I'm so sorry. The people who are lurking and not paying attention to the stream. I'm so sorry. I know that's loud. I'm so sorry though. It is something I need to turn down, and it goes on forever too. I'm so sorry. I'm actually, before I move on, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna sidebar the conversation we were having there about that, because I need to turn that down before I forget, because that's the second time that's gone off and it scared the hell out of everyone. And I'm so sorry.
I couldn't hear it, which is the best part.
So basically it is like it's a Disney like kind of like meme sounding thing. And it's like, I mean, I can play it one more time, but I also don't want to blow the eardrums of everyone.
No. I'll watch the VOD.
Sounds good. I'm gonna turn it down to 25% and hope that that doesn't make everyone's ears bleed. I'm so sorry, everyone, for that. That was. But thank you for the raid, Rexes. I apologize for nothing. I hope your stream was good. I've heard Vix likes Disney. yeah. So we just blow everyone's eardrums with Disney sounds. So sorry about that, guys. I do apologize for that. For the lurkers that were not paying attention, that just got bombarded with noise in their ear. My apologies. It is turned down, so it will not happen that loud again. I'm so sorry though. What were we talking about? We were talking about bucket list items. So the 3 bucket list items that you said were meeting the friends, language, and traveling. Yeah, I think it'd be so cool. There's so many brilliant people that I've been so fortunate to meet, and whether it be on this streaming thing or just gaming in itself, that I would love to meet in real life. And I think I've been so fortunate to be able to get to talk to these people so often through things like Discord or gaming. Box or something like that, but it's something I hope to continue to do and continue to keep doing. Let's see here, what do we have? We have the bucket list one we just asked, which is good. Can you remember the last time you cried, and what was the reason?
I cry very often, so that's not like it's definitely
It's
a
okay.
weekly occurrence for me, potentially even an every other day occurrence for me. I'm a very emotive person. I emote quite easily, quite
Emote?
frequently, and quite intensely. So yeah,
Okay.
the amount of times I've cried on stream, whether it be because somebody made me cry with kindness, whether it be
Aw.
from the story of the game that I'm playing, whether it be because I remembered something that made me sad. Yes.
Yeah, that do be wholesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, nothing's wrong with showing emotion. Like,
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it either. I'm just saying it's a very common occurrence. So
Okay.
asking that question is kind of like, when was the last time you breathed in air?
Right, yeah. Oh, that's okay. 10 out of 10 wholesomeness. You're dang right there, Certificate. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Certificate. If I'm saying it wrong, please let me know, and I will
You
definitely.
can just call her Surd.
Surd? Okay, I can call you Surd. That works too. Hey, look, with someone who was a dead inside pug. Exactly. Yeah, no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the. I am not calling her that, cat.
Oh, you better not, or else she'll fight you.
You were saying it right. It is easy. Okay, Certificate or Cert, whatever you prefer, I will call you. I am okay with calling you anything you'd like me to call you, as long as you teach me how to pronounce it, because that is
Snurd.
started. We're we're getting into fights in this chat. That's not the part of this chat that we were hoping for. But I think there's nothing wrong with expressing emotion and stuff like that in that sense, and I think that's even better that you do it on stream, because I think there's a lot of streamers who hide that kind of side of them from themselves, and that kind of disappointment and sadness, and I think it definitely eats people, because if you're holding it back, that definitely will be something that will end up, it'll blow up somewhere, whether it be in your life or on stream, in senses like that, and it's better to deal with it than hold it back and get stuck on it, because it's more than anything, it's going to affect you than anything, and that's not what you want, and it's going to make it kind of blow up for in a way you might not want it to, in a sense. It's better to kind of feel it then and there, and when it's really hitting you. And I did like the answer though, of that when someone says nice in your comments, I mean, I've got that feeling actually after one of the first shows of this. I got a friend who I haven't talked to in a little while, and she sent me a message and she said, "Oh, like I really like what you're doing. This is super awesome for like when I do my homework and I get to listen to this and stuff like that." And she's like, "I think your format's really awesome. There's a couple things that like I'd love to talk to you, so that like I can kind of maybe help you in learn from and like improve." But it was basically it was so positive and like nice, and I literally called my girlfriend. I'm like, I'm about to cry. Like, this was so nice. And yeah, so that was one of the things, and I can definitely relate in that sense of that when people understand what I'm trying to do and like it, and the comments that how sweet some people are, whether it be on here or on my Discord, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I can definitely relate in that sense of being able to get those feelings when someone's really super sweet to you. Who or what inspires you?
I get inspired by many things. People, places, emotions. Again, I'm a very feelsy type of person. So it can be like people that mean a lot to me. It can be a flower that I pass on my way to work, and I'm just like, man,
What was that, 3?
is so it's so inspiring. I draw inspiration. I'm like a sponge, basically. And I think, and I love being like a sponge, because I love being inspired by different things, different people, different experiences, different visuals, sounds, smells, tastes. I just think that is beautiful. And that's kind of what life is about, and being able to experience it on that level also inspires me. So
No wonder you related very like closely with like Soul in a sense, is because I think that's 22. I think the name is the character. I keep on feeling like I'm blanking on that and saying it's the wrong number. Is that the well, actually maybe I shouldn't give the whole plot away in case you guys haven't seen it, but how it's called is
spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. Is spoilers. But like I think is loving life and being able to kind of enjoy life for what it is, and the things that the crazy amazing things that it has in it. And like I really like the flower comment you made. I think it's definitely something that I think a lot of people will take for granted, including myself, is that you walk by maybe the same like flower every single day and don't really realize that it's a lot of work to get that flower to where it is to that point, and that is kind of inspiring in a sense, and you can see that kind of beauty and how that goes. It's definitely something that's surely an interesting kind of concept of how things in life works in that sense. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful way to look at things, because I think not many people do, and it's I think that also goes to show how self-aware you are, and maybe not just self-aware but also aware of like things, and like that, not just inspired by like what you see, but also and what you kind of like you can taste and smell and stuff like that. And that's something that I definitely I'm impressed with. That's a very like good answer. I don't, the good answer does not give it justice, but yeah.
Inspiration is everywhere. You just have to kind of let your guard down enough to experience it. And I think a lot of people will kind of have this preconceived notion of like what inspiration, like what sources are acceptable to be inspired by, and like, oh, it's a person. It's qualities in a person, or it's accomplishments that a person has done. But no, like it can be anything. It can be a feeling, it can be a smell. You can smell somebody's perfume, and maybe that reminds you of a flower or a person in your life from before, and that can experience like that can inspire you in so many different ways. Or maybe you eat a piece of chocolate and it reminds you of the first time you had a particular candy bar when you were a kid, and that inspires you. So there's just so many things. The possibilities are endless, really.
Oh, Ferrero Rochers, the first time biting into one of those bad boys. So good. What does love mean to you?
Love means to me that you are accepting of somebody for who they are on every level. And I feel like there's a lot of different kinds of love. And like the whole idea of soulmates, I think you can have multiple soulmates, like people that you resonate with on a very deep and meaningful level.
You say soulmates for kind of different, maybe topics would be the word in a sense, so like different kind of like categories, or would you say soulmates just kind of all in one grouping?
I feel like it's an all-encompassing idea. There are just people that you connect with, and that connection is just so deep, and you just understand each other on such a deep level. Nothing can really break the bond. They've proven to you, and you've proven to them that you're going to love and accept who they are no matter what. And you've gotten to know them, and you've shown your vulnerable side, they've shown theirs, and even with knowing all their flaws and them knowing all of yours, that you still love and accept them for who they are.
Pretty amazing how things kind of like that worked out, and how beautiful love can be in a certain sense in that kind of fashion. Kind of, this jumps back a little bit to the question before this that we just asked, is what is one thing that you hope to never forget?
I would say I hope to never forget myself. Like to trust in myself, to trust my gut, to be true to myself, because I feel like it's so easy to be influenced by other people or social media, but really like never to forget myself at my core, like my core values, my core beliefs, who I am as a person, and stay true to that.
Going with the kind of the trends in social media and that kind of side of things, what current trends makes no sense to you?
The trend where like people are bringing other people down. Like
Okay.
whether it be, and that is a very broad topic, I understand,
course, yeah.
but like there's different trends on TikTok about it. There's definitely on streamer Twitter for sure. Like this whole like one-upping thing, and like trash talking, or like anything related to that. It's just I don't understand the need, really.
Yeah, like it's, I mean, why can't we all succeed together in a sense, and that kind of like does not take each other down. And I think, and I've spoken about this before, I believe on stream, I think. If not, then you're getting again. But it is basically as if everyone succeeds together, like everyone eating, like what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with everyone doing well, and everyone having a good life, or good kind of being happy, being able to follow their dreams. So yeah, and why when you see someone that's maybe following their dream, whether it be maybe someone with one viewer on Twitch trying to stream and learn and trying to grow, and so that by bashing them, be like, oh, you only have one viewer. That's one person. That's pretty amazing. That's one person who's viewing them, and I'd be damn happy to go and jump in as a second person and view them, and kind of go show them support, because I think they're doing something that they want to do, and something they want to learn, and something that they're, like you said, kind of growing in a sense. That's something that I hope that I'm always growing, learning, and seeking that kind of discomfort, because if not, then I'm doing something wrong in that sense.
Definitely.
If you had, sorry, how would you live your remaining days if you found out that you only had 1 week to live?
I think it would be a combination of spending it with my favorite people and doing my favorite things, like the things that bring me the most joy, the people who bring me the most joy. I would be trying to spend and do as much of that as possible.
What would be one of the things you'd say that you would like to do that would be one of your favorite things to do? I won't put the people on for your just to not put you on the spot too much. But what would you say is as far as things? What things would you
Kind of like enjoy the little things and kind of, because a week is not very much time, of course. So you can't do a lot of traveling in a week. You can't do a lot of learning in a week.
That's why I liked this question for you, because I think it's perfect, because I'm sure if you had a month, you'd be like, I'd be traveling to this place, and this place to get to kind of see certain things. But it's interesting to see, like, you are kind of restricted in that sense of being that. I mean, you could learn something, but like, how worth it is it is? So if it's
yeah, it would really be like spending time with people that are important to me and doing things like spending time with my dog because I love my dog and he is my child. Like spending as much time with people that mean a lot to me, I would say. I would take that over even like doing things that I want to do, because it's the time with people and the being surrounded by people you love and people you care about, like, that is what means the most to me, I would say.
that's exactly what I say. Like, I've said it a couple times this stream, and I'm sure you've heard me. I'm not one who cares too much about viewers, followers, things like that. It's just really numbers. It's time. You guys spending your time with me, and then not just you, but I do thank you for spending your time with me and taking your time. But also the people who are sitting in the chat and listening and lurking or talking, chatting, jumping in the Discord, saying hi, like spending those times with me and being able to kind of like vibe with me, whatever way it may be. Because that's something that none of us will get back, fortunately. But I think it's something that I'm very grateful for, that you guys are willing to come and hang out and vibe here and hang out and come at least once a week and say hi, and either just pop in and maybe just sit and just vibe. It's all good with me either way. Is time, because it's one thing that no one gets back, and it's something that I'm very, very fortunate to say that I have a lot of people who are willing to give up that kind of very precious thing that everyone is very lucky to have, but not too many people, or what's it called, that you guys are using it on me, I guess would be the best way to put it. So thank you very, very much to both you, Vix, and to the chat here for hanging out. We are nearing the end, but I do have a couple of questions here just as the end, just to kind of, so we don't leave it on a too dark of a note. I want to kind of end off on kind of more of a happier thing. And this one I haven't asked for a little while, but I want to see if you, because I know you have a big smart brain up there. What app can you not believe that someone has not made yet, or maybe a thing that someone has not made yet either? Doesn't have to be restricted just to an app. Chat, you're more than welcome to answer this one too. We'll see if we can start some sort of company after this stream.
Gaydar. I would say, from a streaming standpoint, an app that allows you to post things simultaneously on all platforms at once.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Twitter, Instagram, Discord, like an announcement of some kind, or a post or a content.
Woof.
What is woof?
What is woof? Yeah, as far as Honey Badger's no Office fans.
Mysterian coming in with The Office.
What? I've watched The Office, but I haven't watched it in a long time. Did I miss something? Woof. What is woof? I'm like going back in like the deep files of my memory. I want Vix to be my counselor now. Don't we all? There'll be a high charge coming up for the fact that Ryan created that app. What was it for though? Because I know Ryan was the intern, right?
I know he came back to Scranton, but what? I don't remember what the app did.
Yeah, like what was it about? I remember being kind of silly though, right?
Pretty much anything he does is silly.
Yeah. Exactly what you said.
Exactly what I said. It posts all sites like you said.
Okay,
but
so
it's fictional.
Ooh.
So it actually hasn't been created yet.
I didn't know that. Okay, okay, so maybe it is more. Maybe the way he described it wasn't as good as how you described it, but
It was created.
ooh,
Was it?
can you link that in the what you sell in
Yeah.
chat there,
Can
Honey
you
Badger?
can you link it?
If I have any mods in here, I don't know if I have any mods in here, but if someone can find it and pull it up for me.
They got rid of it. Okay.
Ah, see, now there's an open space. we got a company to make
'Cause I
here.
don't. Because I was talking to a friend about this before. Like, just being able to update, like from one app, being able to push something out to every app with just a push of a button, like create content, schedule content, and not having to go to a bajillion different places in order to do it. Like, I don't think there's anything like that. If there
Scheduling-
is, rip me, but
Scheduling content would probably be the biggest thing because of how like there's a lot of times, especially like for instance, I know you're not big on TikTok, but it's something that I'm definitely learning about their algorithm in a sense. There are certain times on TikTok that like people like to post, and or like that trending posts go viral at more certain times. And what I do is I schedule all my videos so that I can hit those viral times to make it so that the more audience gets to see them, and it kind of gets that push that I hope that I deserve, I guess. That sounds kind of selfish, but in a sense. And so I think being able to schedule posts for certain times would be great because like Instagram, so like the pre-stream post that I post every single week for the guests, so the one that we had on you for Instagram, that would be lovely to have just so it automatically goes on there. And maybe if I can send it to Twitter and I can send it to even like all these other platforms really quickly, be awesome. Even if we can get on Discord, would be pretty cool. So, I mean, if anyone's listening that knows a thing or two about apps, you got some apps to make, and you got two investors right here. Just don't name it Woof. I don't think that's the best name for it. I think there's a better name for that than that. Let's see here. Do I have? I have one, but I might say that one for the last one. What is one thing that you'd likely never do, but would do for content? The popcorn in chat.
Hot tub
Come
stream?
stream.
Oh my god. That's a tough one. Because I can kind of like see. And this is gonna get like way deeper than this question
okay.
is supposed to be. And it kind of ties back to the things streaming has kind of like empowered me to do. One of the things I never imagined myself doing, but I ended up doing it for kind of like a content standpoint, is cosplay.
Okay.
Like I never thought I could ever cosplay like anything. And then somebody suggested it, and like it was literally because of content that I like even explored that as a hobby or like anything like that. So that's kind of like an example of something that's come to pass. Because I'm like, yeah, cosplay, like that'd be cool, but like I could never imagine me doing that. And then boom, it happened.
Is there someone that you would like to cosplay that you haven't yet?
Oh, there's a bajillion things I'd love to cosplay, but unfortunately, it's a very expensive
It is.
hobby.
What's the top of the list then, or one of the top ones at your list?
Yennefer or Ciri from Witcher. Easy. Lots of different anime cosplays I'd love to do. Mikasa. Nezuko from Demon Slayer. Would love to be Nezuko. There's a bajillion different Sailor Scouts that I'd love to do. I love mashups. One of my mashups that I've done is a mashup of Diva and a Sailor Scout, so Sailor Diva. I'd love to do that with Disney princesses. So like
that'd be cool.
Sailor Merida, Sailor Belle, like things like that, and just kind of like incorporate different things into that. I love portraying strong characters, so and well known and not so well known. One of the favorite cosplays I've done is Rogue from X-Men. I'd love to do more cosplays like that. I'd love to do like a Valkyrie cosplay, video game like what? There's so many things I'd love to cosplay.
As I mean, that got quite the list there. You got. I think you gotta start doing them slowly here. What's obviously you're like you said, it's not like it's a cheap hobby. But I think you gotta get on one because I think look at Kat. Kat's like freaking out. I will say though, we have a previous house guest that actually is, if you know Disney kind of terms, is friends with Belle. And so I mean, I can
which Belle though? Because they have. I said which Belle because there are multiple.
Which Belle? What do you mean? Oh, like the Beauty and the Beast Belle.
Mm-hmm. But is it like a cast member from Disneyland? Because there's usually like multiple people that play one character.
Oh yeah, yes, of course, yeah. It is from what I know is that it's a company that's it's not an actual cast member. I don't believe. I'm pretty sure it is a third party company that is the provider of it. So it's not exactly the number one.
Like a princess party kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So it's called. Yeah. So yeah, and if you guys don't know, Miss Brunetti, our second guest on this podcast is Miss Brunetti, who is friends with Belle. Who right now, unfortunately, as she just announced to her Discord, has COVID as of yesterday, which is very sad. So we wish her the best. Hopefully, she's getting better, and yeah, we're hoping the best for her because usually this is a stream day for her, but she is very made it very clear that there will be no stream today due to that, unfortunately. So we hope her and wish her the best. You guys know Miss Brunetti, or if you followed her, or if you follow her, go let her know that we say hi over here at Bren's residence, and we wish her the best. And then my final question for you. If your life was a movie, what would the title be? Why?
That is a tough one. Because I could think of many titles it could be. But like kind of like narrowing it down to one and kind of explaining the meaning behind it is definitely the harder part to that. Or for it to not sound like cliche or corny.
Cliche.
I think it would be, I don't know if I can narrow it down to like one specific title, but I could narrow it down to kind of like a theme or like several different titles.
Okay.
Anything to do with like rebirth, reincarnation, change, growth, something along those lines.
Okay.
So whether it be like kind of like a phoenix, that kind of symbolism, coming from the ashes and being born anew, it would be something along that line, just because again, I am forever a student, I'm forever learning, I'm forever growing, I'm forever changing. And I think it's important to kind of recognize the places that I've been and the people I've been, but also acknowledge that they've helped shape me for who I am today, but that change is a constant in life. You're constantly changing, you're constantly learning. You are different than you were yesterday. You're a different person today than you were yesterday. And I think it would need to be something along those lines, just to kind of illustrate that.
A work in progress. Not finished yet, but still learning and growing. And I mean, as long as you're still learning and growing, nothing's wrong with that at all. I would like to say thank you. I'm going to go find our raid for the thing here, and also thank you to all you guys who've hung out here. Kat, it's been lovely getting to know you. I really hope you're in the Discord. If you're not already, please join in that Discord. It'll definitely, I think you'll fit right in. You're the vibes I'm getting from you are awesome, and kind of funny too. Thank you to everyone who so far who's come in. Please stay tuned for the raid, and also I'm also going to give you the floor to be able to say any links or anything that you, I'm hitting my mic, that you would like to say, or anything to shout out or anything like that, it's totally up to you. I will give you the floor now. Go for it.
I don't really have any self promo. I'm just here for the ride and the experience. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I hope that in the future we could have more discussions like this, because I do think it is important and eye opening, and yeah, different perspectives, different connections. I like what you are doing.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And I think what you're doing and how you're trying to help people, and kind of a sense of that, and going on a small streamer such as myself stream, and helping me in a sense of being able to give me the openness as you have today. I definitely appreciate that too, as well as, like I said, the time. I believe I have found our raider, and I mean, I'm playing ads now. I'm so sorry. However, it does not have to be a shout out for yourself either, though. It can always be a if you want to say something to anyone else or anything like that, or up to you. Good?
I'm good.
Okay, no worries. So we are going to find a raid. We actually have a previous friend that we've had on here before. Someone who we've been talking to a little bit, and possibly someone who we could possibly see if they want to come on and be a part of this as well. So if you guys can, I'd love for you guys to go say hi to our friend. I don't know if, no, he's definitely not in here because I think he's streaming as well, but Metafish, where I met him, which Metafish is coming up on goodness, what is the week after the 4th? It's not the Mother's Day stream, but it is the, it is the 11th. Metafish will be on, which is homies. And you guys, he was in here today and said hi, and I believe followed you and me as well, and because he said he hadn't already. And then yeah, I met him in Excellent Flex is thing. You guys can go say hi to Excellent, I believe is how he pronounces it, and let him know that we want him on to our thing. I would like to also thank you guys for all coming and spending your time with me today. I really do appreciate it. Also, again, to Vix, thank you so much for giving me the time as well to hang out and let me explore kind of your the mind of Vix works, and how much you are appreciate. Thank you, Bog. Appreciate it. And yeah, you stayed the whole time, Bog. I appreciate you a lot too. You hung out with us for a minute too, so thank you. Thanks for stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure of mine. So if you guys can go hit that rate up, tell Excellent that we want to have him in our stream at some point, so he can be a house guest as well. If you guys haven't already, !Discord. I'm going to quickly hit it up here before you guys let you guys go here. If you guys can follow the Discord. CJ, you're at right before the raid here, but you better be a part of this raid. Go join. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun for me as well. But like I said, Thursday we are doing Minecraft on the Discord server, so go join in the Discord. It is going to be the first ever Minecraft we are ever doing. It'll be a lot of fun, I promise. We've put a lot of good thought into this and for things like that. So thank you so much, Visterion. Thank you. Yes, Heartvix. I will see you guys all on Thursday. If not, I will see you on Saturday for the double stream. You guys take care. Thank you so much. Goodbye.